Morning, team. Welcome back. Happy Monday. Hope you all had a good weekend. Hopefully you read the weekly newsletter so you're prepared for this week and the key levels, because we've got lots to go through this week. Lots of news coming back into the week. Remember, the government back to work, Nvidia earnings, Japan 10 years starting to break out, putting sell-side pressure on this market. And we are opening up in a very, very interesting part based on the yearly profile and the last few weeks. So let's go over it now, as always, starting on the daily time frame. In fact, let's start on the weekly time frame because it's a new week. You can see right now, opening up. Oh, that's a bit drastic. Right, opening up inside the previous week. When we think about that previous week's range, we go from top or from bottom to top. Wakey, trading view. All right, we're trading. Reacted. This is basically a 61 retracement, and we're sitting right in that pocket at the moment. If we look at the yearly profile, the profile that we've built out, this level here has been a pretty decent support level so far on this year. If we move down into a daily, you can see that same area is where we found bids on Friday and the Friday before as well. So this is your thick area into 700s. Surprise, surprise, into 700s. All right, and this is the old range rotation that we did back in September and October. All right, this was our range rotation, set 700 to 25k before we broke out. We're coming back and retesting that. We are bearish in this retest at the moment. Now, it's possible bulls can take control. So far, I'm not seeing enough to tell me that they've taken control. I would need to see bulls pivot over here, leaving bears trapped there for a Santa Claus rally into the new year. That's what we would normally expect coming into November and December. Hedge funds have not made their money this year. Remember, retail has been net long, hedge funds have been net cash, so they're very upset. So one thing to be aware of is, regardless of structure, if hedge funds start turning this on, well, that's what they're going to look for if they really want to make their money. However, macro news is not looking good. We have Nvidia earnings on Wednesday, and right now on the daily, very simply, overnight, we've had a look above and fail. All right, we're not going to pay too much attention to it. But that is one of the trades that I was looking for today, as you would know in the weekly newsletter. That look above and fail for a retest back to here. If we see sustained pressure, we need to build out time, because time will allow this to start expanding and the 5-day to come down with it if we're truly going to be bearish. All right, so far, opening up inside. If we move down into the hourlies, all right, what we need to pay attention to is where we are based on the previous week and previous days. All right, so here's your previous week profile from the previous Sunday all the way out. Right now, we're opening up underneath previous week value area low with a look above in this little pocket and this thick area. So we just failed in London, all right, in this pocket. A very nice failure in that pocket. Now failing previous week value area low, coming down to test the week before it. All right, we have to be aware of this. This is a sensitive level that we're now trading in. We can create range rotation in here because we have this liquidity, and Friday liquidity. All right, this is a sensitive area. If this lets go, all right, what am I thinking about? Well, I'm going to think about this. If we start letting go, I think about this. But the ideal location for that short was up here. This is the worst location. Unfortunately, we are opening up right in this sort of potential support, worst location. Don't really want to get short there. I'd rather see a breakdown, retest, stay heavy if I'm going to short that. Otherwise, up here. So we need to be aware of the previous week's rotation. All right, any hold above sort of 250, 260, is it there? Yeah, 280. All right, might see a bullish move back to 500. So we don't want to see bulls get above that and hold, or if you're a bear, you don't. If we're going to see that, then we're looking for a long back into here and probably a short from down there, because we're still inside a rotation. All right, we're still inside a rotation. Friday's rotation, all right, decent squeeze out on Friday. I don't think it was anything more than a squeeze out. All right, if you look at the inflows on Friday, it was poor. There wasn't a lot of buying. It wasn't a broad market. You know, it was a squeeze out. That was it. It was shorts covering. All right, we did eventually get this in Discord together, which was nice, or at least everyone else in my Discord while I was walking Luna got it. And we have to be aware of these levels, don't we? All right. Previous day, value area high, value area low. Like we said, we're trading near the previous week value area lows and the week before that value area lows. So we can range rotate in here. This might look like nothing, but this is 984. So we're looking at 300-point range rotation in here. That's what we're looking at the moment, folks, is a 300-point range rotation. If we do this, maybe we get lucky and get a retest. But unfortunately, the best location when we're in range rotation would have been short here, which was given beautifully to London traders. If we look up here, this was very, very nice. All right, this is very nice up here. And think about this, 1 leg, 2 leg, failure, back down to here. Can we trade under, or do we reclaim and do this for the rest of the day? Those are the two things that I'm thinking about at the moment. So I don't want to carry too much bias into this because location is not good. You can see since London, this is pretty much a straight move downside. All right, unfortunately, that it is what it is. That's what the cards we've been dealt with on a Monday morning. Okay, so you know what I'm looking for? Let's have a look at this. Right, this gray area is just the little bump that we had from the edge of sort of Sunday, Monday, Friday from the 7th. So 2 weeks ago, not last week, the week before. So I'm watching that. All right, let's have a look at the Qs and the spiders because they're actually pretty easy to see right now. All right, what I would be looking at, SPY has 2 big levels here, 70 and 72 were the big options levels. All right, if start letting go of that with failure, you're probably going to see a rotation back down towards 666. All right, if they hold 70s and reclaim 72s, then there's probably a squeeze upside. So you can set price alerts on those if you want. For Qs, the big level was the 600. That was your put wall. We opened up under it, they reclaimed it. I don't know if they've moved that gamma coming into today, but we'd have to see. Filled this old gap, which we can now get rid of. Thanks very much. See you later. All right, so Qs, very much the same thing as we talked about on NQ. Oh, don't do that. In a range rotation, you can see here's Friday, squeeze up. We're opening up inside of this. I'd say for failures here, there's probably trade back down. You can see maybe a look below and fail for the trade back upside. So range rotation until it proves otherwise. Dixie continues to drift higher. Okay, trying to find a bid off those lows. Possible push right back into here. One thing I do want to look at is this 10-year and 30-year. How's that reacted? Yeah, we're starting to find that bid I'm concerned about in this green box. All right, the big level is way, way higher, but it is starting to find that bid. If this starts breaking out, I get very worried for this market. 30 years strong. Okay, anyway, we'll keep an eye on that. All right, Apple, let's go through the mag. How are we doing for time? Not too bad. Apple, gapping down. All right, weaker on a little bit of news this morning. What was it right here? Berkshire and Hathaway cut its Apple stake from 915 million to 238 million. You're going to see this a lot. Warren has taken a huge position in Google a couple of weeks ago and sold most of the rest of his portfolio at the moment, sitting cash. So Apple starting to sell a little bit off that news. Amazon, slight gap up inside previous day's range. So Apple weak, Amazon inside previous day's range, nothing really to see there. Google probably strong off that Berkshire news, yes. All right, so people just starting to see that. It did come out here, but maybe people didn't really read it. All right, so there's your news. Any pullbacks that hold, we're going to see continued rotation. Remember, this has all started from when they got rid of that financial decision when they were trying to cut up the company into different levels, saying they had the monopoly on YouTube, etc., and they've let them off, and now we're in a breakout. So relative strength in Google, and some of the market, or the big players in the market, are starting to buy into it. Meta, still weak. All right, inside previous day's range. This is very much like the Qs. If it can't reclaim this for the squeeze, we come back and revisit this. I'm not convinced we're quite done yet on Meta, but we will see. Microsoft, that looks pretty good. That looks pretty good compared to some of the others. All right, range rotation, push up Friday. Can it hold to complete that move? Remember, it's had relative weakness since the earnings. All right, so it's just a bid up since the earnings. But if they fail to reclaim here, this is failure, 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 and new lows coming. So intraday looks okay pre-market, but I'd be quite concerned if I was holding a swing long in that. Nvidia weak. Remember, earnings coming on Nvidia on Wednesday. You have people selling a lot of their positions. All these big whales talking about they've cut 70% of their positions in Nvidia. Michael Burry's got a big short position out on Nvidia after closing his fund, but a personal short position out on Nvidia. We'll have to see what happens Wednesday. All right, this is all to do with Wednesday. Are we trimming profits before Wednesday, or does Wednesday start the bigger move and the crash, or are we going to sell off before Wednesday and find a bid Wednesday with some outlier earnings? Who knows? All to play for at the moment, but we have to be aware of that coming into Wednesday after hours. Tesla, not too bad, pulling back after that big drive up on Friday, but if we look at the rest of the week, we've broken down. The question is, does it hold range for a retest of this level, or are we just going to see weakness? So overall, MAG, I would say slightly weaker outside of Google right now. Let's have a look at these other ones affected. Oracle, gapping down. AMD, probably gapping down off Nvidia. Yes. Okay, so Netflix at quarter bid yet? Not really. Split is done, is it? Is that just done its split? Okay. Interesting. Wonder if they rally off that or not. Okay. How are we doing for time? 4 minutes left. So yeah, very aware of the range rotation today. I would have loved to have been short up here, and it's a perfect location for the short for that look above and failure. I don't really love being short here, to have to come underneath and fail. So location is everything. I do think we're slightly more bearish overall, but very, very possible that today is nothing more than rotation. We might see that, folks, for a couple of days, maybe all the way into Wednesday. Yes, VIX, we didn't talk about that, did we? Currently trading at 21s. Dangerous times for those on the VIX. It's not a net long risk on right now in this market. All right, let's get through the good mornings. Haven't done that for a while. Good morning, Clint, Chris, InfoRisk, DJ, Frank, Asylum, Jesse, Troy, Peter, Marek, Full Forward, Brandon, E.T., John Dennis, Toby, Garbear, Thumper, AB, Mark, Lifetime, Doji, Oaken, Larry, Otis, Charles, Dojon, Contorted, Patrick, Jonathan, ERF, Mike, 3-bar reversal, Calypso, BU, Green Otter, Eva, Roscoe, Raphael, Emilio, Toby, Miguel, Capt, Lindell, Red Plasma, LJ, Mr. Slim, Peter, Lauren, JJ, Priska, Jacob, Stefan, Dex, Carbs, and Bradley. Good morning, everyone. Do me a favor, smash that like button nice and early. Let's get it out of the way. And for all those just joining, welcome, welcome, welcome. Seeing this market add sell pressure here early this morning. It's just we've lost location. It's very, very unfortunate, but this is unfortunately how it is. So trading into that previous day value area low right now. And demand down here. We could pull this up so it matches. What a shame. What a shame. This push up here. Any of you that traded this morning, you should have had a bit of fun. That was a nice, obvious rotation off value. Like really clean. Off value, look above and fail. These are all the things that you want to look for, folks. Right, look above value when we're in a range rotation and fail, and there is your short and all the way back down to the other side. Right, and this is your cover point here. And now you're holding runners just to see if at the market open they want to dump you down to here. You'd be very happy, people, if you get that. But for me, well, I've missed it. It's happened in London. It's happened in London. So 1 minute left here, folks. See what we get. Yeah, the VIX looking pretty dangerous right now. Put in a sort of double bottom versus Friday's lows, gapping up, and it's got those previous day highs at 23. If it does really want to go for it, but otherwise we're just going to go in a rotation between PDL, PDC, and PDH on the VIX as well. But if we go in a rotation up here, it's well, let's just say it's dangerous. Let's just put it that way. It's very dangerous. So not looking to trade out the gate. If they flush this out the gate, they're going to probably do it without me. But yeah, all time frames currently bearish, selling down, but we're in a bit of a range. But overall, momentum's been bearish. So good luck, folks. If you're one of the people that's looking to trade the open, here you go. Here's your opening print. So all of the mag gapping down other than Google, which is 3.50% up right now. Like we talked about, Berkshire and Hathaway, Warren Buffett buying into that, selling his position in Apple, buying into Google. That happened. He probably started buying straight after that decision from the courts to allow them to keep everything together. And their cloud company and YouTube and everything else that they open. So flushing down here, you might get followed through all the way down. We'll have to see. Google's still running upside. And it's going to be tough because I've lost location. All right, into a little bit of a bump here. This is where we started to find a little bit of a bid on Friday into these 60s down to 900s. So if you were short, I would say it wouldn't be a bad idea to cover a little bit here. There was a little bump here on Friday. And there you go. They're starting to cover into it. So I probably should mark that out. It's right here. You can see this cluster here where we found a bump. On the profile, right there. There you go. I'm actually going to remove that one. Just give this a chance to settle down. Google's still pushing. Now 3.80% up, very impressive. Rest of the market's still in a sell right now. I can give you a readout. Tesla 0.12% down, Nvidia 2.5% down, Microsoft 0.40% down, Meta 0.66% down, Amazon 0.27% down, Apple 1.85% down, Google 4.18% up. That thing is absolutely ripping faces, right? And there you go. So that bump off Friday, catching a bid so far. We've already gone through the New York Open. Where's my New York Open print? Why am I not seeing that? Is it because I'm not on a 1 minute? There we go. So already through the New York Open print, coming back to potentially close this gap straight away, I would say. Then we can see what we do. But already reclaiming previous day value area low. So look below and fail. So potential range rotation back up. Previous day point of control, previous day value area high after a gap fill. I'm not particularly interested in this market right now. I think it's somewhat dangerous in this market at the moment. I think we're going to go into major range rotation. That trigger through New York Open, that was probably your long while I was giving you that readout, but there we go. Let's see, 2070, see if Fix catches a bid there. So you're probably going to gap fill here. Looks good for a gap fill here at the moment. Sorry, folks, just having to change a few settings on TradingView. Okay, Spiders just found a bid off, was that the 50-day? And a bid off the 50-day on the Spiders. And same on the Qs by the looks of it. Yes, 50-day. So just giving this a chance to shake out at the moment. So coming up for gap fill, reclaimed New York low and the blue line next to the previous day value area low. So look below and fail, just like we had at the top side. So think about what we did in London. We looked above previous day value area high, failed. We came back down to the other side of value, looked below, failed. This is hinting to you that we're going to go into range rotation. All right, we're trading between each edge from Friday based on value. So we're in a range rotating market. It's telling you we're in a range rotation market, because it's looked both sides and failed. Until we get outside of that and we start, staying bullish or staying heavy outside of it, then we will remain in a liquidity building process, which, as you well know, are my least favorite trades. That's what we did for most of the time last week. This is how we build liquidity for bigger moves. And it would not surprise me, folks, if we do this all the way until Nvidia earnings. It really wouldn't. If they want to build liquidity out for the next 3 sessions, it wouldn't surprise me. So nice and calm. Remember last week, strong sell week. We started breaking down. Overall, I'm leaning bearish in this market at the moment until it proves otherwise. But within the intradays, we have to play what's in front of us. I'm not bearish intraday at the moment. I'm neutral for range rotation. I'm bearish in the higher timeframes and neutral in range rotation overall. All right, some in this market trying to grab a bid here. Wow, Google 5.25% up. That's insane. Everyone finds out Buffett's bought it and they're like, oh, we'll buy it. You know, you're probably buying it 50 points late, but okay, you do what you want, retail. So I'll give you a readout. Tesla 0.35% up now. Nvidia 1.61% down. Microsoft's gone green, 0.17% up. Meta 0.84% down. Like I said, Google 5.40% up. Amazon 0.5% down, and Apple 1.65% down. So you've got a complete mixed bag there. 1, 2, 3 of them green, 4 of them red. The big winner, Google, dragging the market up. VIX trading back downside right now, testing that sort of key level that we just talked about where it found a bump. But again, it can very well go in rotation just like this market. Okay, so where are we looking at? Well, previous week value area low, currently sitting at 25,180. Previous day point of control, currently sitting at 25,160. Those are probably some interesting levels. We've got an old VWAP up there, 24-hour VWAP and lower time frame. So we're probably bullish in a rotation up to there. And then if it's going to reclaim them, then we're probably going to go all the way up to previous day value area high, to be quite honest, because we've gone straight down like we talked about, lacked structure. How we operate here and here now become important. But I would say you're better off playing the edges. That was probably while I was giving you the readouts. Unfortunately, that was your buy opportunity. Sorry, folks. Happened so quick this morning. And if you did buy it, then you want to be locking in some profits as we move towards this previous day point of control. So 160, 180, those are big levels. If you get consistent buying through those levels, then you can look for, what's that, 290s. So far seeing big old squeeze back up. So they bought value. Buyers are saying, hey, we're not going to lose Friday's value right now. We're staying inside it. We're moving so quick, Bookmap cannot keep up right now. So already 220 points off those lows. We are at 7 minutes into the session, folks, which means we found a bid at the end of minute 1 and we have ripped 222 points since then. Absolute wild moves, but that's where we're at. Okay, into previous week value area high, previous day point of control here. And these are very, very, very sensitive areas. You do not sort of want to be holding longs too much past this, or at least you want to be taking some profits. They might very well fail here. This is a big squeeze out, and how we act here now becomes important. So look, we've just gone from previous day's value, look below and fail, up to previous week value area low. All right, if we reject previous week value area low, they're going to come down and retest some of these key levels again, because now we're fighting between the weekly value and the daily values. Very, very key how we act now. SPY into its VWAP, or sorry, ES into its VWAP here. SPYs are actually already through it, as are the Qs. VIX still trading downside. And we are holding pretty well here. It's pretty impressive. It's a decent hold. Maybe if they can get a bid through previous week, if you're still long, you might even get all the way up here. But what I would say is if you took that, look below and fail, you need to be taking some money off the table into these moves. All right, you need to be taking money off the table into these moves because you're starting to see some profit taking here. Okay, no trade for me. I missed that giving you a readout. I'm not even convinced I would have necessarily taken it. If I did, it would have been small size because, as we know, range rotation, my least favorite trades. This is a volatile market. We can have, like we said, we can have range rotation of 300 plus points here, folks. Right, that's not a joke. We can go 300 points up, 300 points down, 300 points up, 300 points down numerous times a day. You go and have a look at what we were doing a year or two ago when we were doing that. We were talking about 50 to 80 point range rotations, not 300 point range rotations. Okay, so be aware of your sizing. Oh, still holding this up. Nice, Mr. Slim. Yeah, some of you took it. Congratulations. Hey, miss 5 micros for 200 points is a lot of money. It's a lot of money. Very, very nice. So testing previous week value area low here. The mag's still mixed. So you've got Tesla up, Microsoft up, Google up, Nvidia down, Meta down, Amazon down, Apple down. Mixed bag on the mag. Remember, it's Monday morning, long week ahead, folks. And we've got Thanksgiving after that. I might be taking Friday off, just to warn you. I'm probably going to go to Palm Springs for a long weekend this Friday. So, but I will let you know. I haven't booked my flight yet. Okay, 25,200 on the book. So just above. Coming into this Asia low here. What's previous day a high? Is that it up there? 23s. Is that right? Let me check that out. I think it is. Yeah, previous day high is into this 300. Yes. So some strong selling came in there, and they did not force this market lower. So they might get caught here if they want to re-squeeze this higher. They just spent the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes trying to sell. Haven't moved lower yet, so just be aware of that. It's a battle here as we trade into that previous week value area low. And the longer we're here, the worse it is for bears, because they would have wanted a snap back down, and they're not seeing it yet. So back down to VWAP we go. Back down to previous day point of control we go. They're trying to force the hand here. Still being absorbed so far. Again, no position for me yet. Just waiting here. We can build out. If we build out a shelf, I'll be interested or something. But right now, just wondering how big a rotation they're going to do. Rejecting previous week value area low for now. Starting to see bears come in here with more strength. We have an imbalance here into sort of 39 to 28. So this is sort of the edge where bulls will want to defend if they're looking to squeeze back through previous week value area low. Is somewhere in here. Still early in the session. I think we're still only 12 minutes in. Plenty of time. Plenty of time. So seeing some absorption try and take place here. There you go. So they just absorbed that in front of that imbalance. You're near Palm Springs, Otis. Well, if I go, I'll go on Friday, and I'll be there Friday, Saturday, Sunday if I go. My wife's definitely going. It will just be down to flights and timings for me. Okay, so we're back into this bump. Look, make sure you're zooming out higher time frame. Let's where are you guys? Make sure you're zooming out higher time frame. What we're looking at right now, we've traded back into this thick area. Right, this is where we looked above and failed. If we come into here and sell again, we go back to range rotation again. If we look above and fail, we go back range rotation again. But if we can start building liquidity above here, right, this is why I'm trying to be neutral. They might want to come all the way up and revisit this up here into 500s because we're thin in here, aren't we? Think about what we did Thursday. That's a thin move. All right, bears are trying to do this. If they don't do that and bulls get above and defend, then the next squeeze into here is possible. We cannot rule that out. Cannot rule those moves out. So I'm trying to be neutral. Like, I think bears have an edge, but they can lose that edge if they can't defend levels. Right, just like we talked about in the newsletter. Stronger selling back down towards this imbalance. We're building out a sort of sideways range here. Let's get this on before I forget. No, you don't want to do it. Come on. There you go. Okay, so building out some volume here. This is where bulls last came in and defended these lows. Remember, there's a little imbalance underneath here. All depends if these bears want to sell through this now and take us back down, or if bulls are going to defend it yet again. We are starting to build out this range up here right now. Okay, and if they fail this, we can come right back to here. If they look below and reclaim like they have twice already, and looks like third attempt to hold it, because we have an imbalance here. Right, on the order flow, there is a big imbalance on this spike candle right here, which bulls are trying to defend. So I'm just being patient overall right now. We're in range rotation. Bulls have taken control of those lows. So not really looking for a bearish move unless we see a big breakdown. And I'm not going to buy high either. Unfortunately, I probably missed it. Remember, might look like, oh, mate, you've only missed 15 minutes. Hey, in those 15 minutes, we've moved 244 points. Sounds good, Otis? Testing these 200s. So we sort of have an edge of volume into 250s. I know previous day value area high is above that, but 250s looks like a big level on the weekly. Just have to see. We'll have to see how we go. Nothing for me yet, folks. This looks bullish, though. They've built, they've trapped. Bears got caught twice there, trying to force the breakdown in that imbalance. And this might well complete this rotation up to here now. So up to here, previous day value. If you're still long off this under here, maybe you get lucky and you get all the way up into this now. So previous day high and previous day value area high. Try and get up towards 300. If it's still long, that's where you want to try and get up towards. MAG is starting to push here. So Tesla now 1.72% green. Microsoft's now gone green, 0.04% up there. Only just green, same as Meta, only just gone green. Google, the strong one, 5.61% up, absolutely flying. Apple and Amazon just under 1% down on the day. Nvidia just over 1% down on the day. So you've got a mixed bag here, folks, right? You've got 3 of them about a 1% down, 2 of them flat, and 2 of them pushing. And VIX is still falling back inside. Like I said, it can very well range rotate today. It might look for this gap fill on previous day low, which is what sort of sitting 50% in the middle of, but it looks like it's coming back to earth at the moment on the VIX. That's why we can't have too much bias. And while we talked about them this morning, yes, I would love to be bearish, but the location wasn't there. London had the location. We looked below and we failed. And that tells you rotational market. So any of you caught it, you are sitting very pretty right now. Very, very pretty right now. This is your next target. We get a bit thicker up here, as you can see, the red box. But if you can get up there, you'd be very happy, I think. Where's my volume gone? Missing one. Hang on a sec, folks. Just seeing my volume profiles come off this chart for some reason on NinjaTrader. There we go. Template. Load. There we go. Okay, you still look good. Holding nicely. Pushing nicely. Coming into key levels. You look good to hold. No worries, contorted. Nice work. You got that look below and fail and push, I assume. Looks good. This is the target up here, folks. This is the target up into here. You've also got the 5-day hit. So everything's up here. Previous day value area high, 5-day moving average, previous day high. You've got Globex just above it. All right, that's your Globex high right now. printed in London. So if they want to come all the way back for that, they can as well. But I'd say, you've had TP1, which was into this area here, previous day point of control, previous week point of control. We're now bidding above that. So your next TP would be previous day value area high, previous day high, and then Globex, and above that, well, who knows? Maybe we go 500s in one day. I mean, it is madness. I'm telling you, we are talking about absolute madness right now. We're talking about a 600 possible point push again, but this is the market we have right now. Can't believe it. On a Monday, no news day, when everyone's waiting for Wednesday, we could possibly do a 600-point move out the open. There we go. This is why you've got. It doesn't matter what you think, how mental the market is. You've got to trade what's in front of you. Nice, Contorted. Well done, mate. To 060 in here. Beautiful. Nice work. Okay, you're getting close. You're getting close. They're trying to find a bit of a bid in Nvidia, Amazon, and Apple. Not yet, but they're trying to. Nvidia has clawed back over 1% of its open so far. We'll see. There's probably a rotation back down coming at some point. It's just when have they finished? And you know me, I don't love ranges and rotations and stuff. And overall, this is very, very squeezy. This is like Friday, so I don't want to be the same as Friday. Looking to fade it. We had numerous attempts Friday. Bulls stepped in. Bulls have shown that they've stepped in again now. And you could, well, not you could. I will argue that Bulls have now put in a higher low on the hourly. They will need to get a breakout above Globex high and above previous day high. And if they do that, then we have to remain neutral bias for the rest of the week until there is a major, major pivot. And basically what I'm saying is above previous day value area high, we're going to go in range rotation to 500. And then you're going to see liquidity be built out between sort of 300, 250, 300 and 500. And in that area, you're going to see a lot of traders get very upset with each other because you're going to see bears defending it and bulls defending the lower side. And we're not going to be in alignment on multi-time frame. So what I'm looking at that this morning, it's possible that low this morning could form the start of a high low. We don't know yet. It's too early. But that's what they will be looking to do. More selling coming in here. Again, do they get their way? Some pretty big size coming in here on the tape. A little bit of excess up there, but not a lot. And I'm not sure they've completed their rotation. I think value is what they want. Value in previous day high looks like what they want to me. Big area here. We've started to get a little bit denser here. I'm not sure they're done with this. I am not sure they're done with this yet. Still seeing soaking on the tape there. Here comes a little drive down. Not much. Bears trying to come flying in here and still seeing it being soaked on the tape so far. I'm really not sure they're done with this. And if they are, it might be a quick wash that's soaked back off this level because we built structure here now. So in fact, let's draw this on for you so you guys are ready. All right, there's your structure. And I'm still seeing soaking on the tape. So I'm just telling you what I'm seeing. Again, no position for me, but there has been soaking on the tape there. And you can see it again. Bears try to force their hand, building another sort of shelf here. I don't think they've completed their rotation yet. So I'm saying I don't think they're done yet. They want value area high, want previous day high. Maybe they want Globex. Like I said, who knows? Maybe they want 500. I think it was BU on Friday who was saying, can they go 500? Maybe they do it. Structure looks good. And you'd have to say she looks right now. You're seeing aggressive buying coming in. Microsoft gone back red. So the mixed bag continues. VIX trying to find a little bit of a bid. But I'm not convinced it's come down low enough yet. But it's trying to defend in front of 20s right now. If we build a shelf here, this will be like last week where, you know, maybe there's a rotation out this shelf down to this again and back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. And if they let go of this shelf down here and if they defend it, we keep going. It feels like Friday all over again. There you go. Did you just say that before I looked up? I've just seen your comment. Bounced off demand and it may be going to retest 25,500, the low of the breakout last week. Yeah. Did you say that before I even read? I remember you saying it on Friday, so I was just thinking about you in my head, how we had that discussion Friday. You may well be right. At the moment, it looks more than possible, doesn't it? Looks more than possible. John Dennis, I'm done for the day. 3,800. Very nice, mate. Very, very nice. Well, all of you have made money. It means you took the failed breakdown, the look below and fail, and then move back into value, which is it's the best move to take in here. So I have to be neutral. I've missed it while I was calling everything out, so now I have to wait for potentially the rotation on the other side. The harder thing now is momentum is flying upside. But let's see. Let's see. A little bit of excess on that last push for the first time. Not a lot, but a little bit. 116 up there. Where's the delta? Where are you at? What was that high to 50s? Not enough for me, but it's interesting. Back down to the lower side again. Maybe they come down and revisit 61s. How are we doing for time? 3 minutes until a new H1, H4. That would be interesting. Retesting this low again. They're finding bids here for now. No follow through that yet. Very sensitive here. Back to that flow zones. I'm not convinced they finished the rotation yet. They just whipped that edge, didn't they? No follow through back down to this yet, so we can draw this on. Yeah, they're still soaking for now. You know, say a bit of a flat top there. If they break, it would be nasty, but let's see. Back down to the edge of this range again. Still no follow through. Very tight here. Someone's going to get hurt soon. There's the downside pressure. Back to the edge of this range again. If they let go, they rotate down to here, 165s. I'm a bit cautious about taking this because I'm not convinced we finished the rotation to previous day value area high. So I know from a technical standpoint, if we leave this range, yes, we've been in a squeeze up. Where's my pen gone? We have been in a squeeze up. All right, we are leaving this range. Maybe there's a trade back down to here. The problem is for me, we've left this low hanging fruit, which means it's not an A+ for me. The difference between that and this morning's play is this morning we came outside of previous day value area high. All right, we came into a volume, right, level where we bid off. So we took low hanging fruit, we found demand, and we bid up. We haven't done that the other side of this range yet, which is why I'm not really looking to trade it back downside yet, because the equivalent of that would have to be a look above this and a failure back in, and we've not seen that. We are testing this range, like maybe there's a short down here, but it's definitely not an A+. No doubt about it, we've been in a squeeze for 30 minutes here. So. Laid back bear. Hi fellas, on my trading view, I'm using NQ1, but why are my numbers different from Alex's? They shouldn't be different. NQ1 is the same as this. NQZ is the current contract. NQ1 is just a rollover. They should be exactly the same. So maybe you've just got a slight delay. The delay should be 3 to 6 seconds. I've got it set as the fastest human or computer possible for YouTube. Raf, done for the day, 100 points and 50 for the runner. Oh, I love it, mate. So here you go. Maybe a rotation here. I'd be somewhat careful. If you're really keen on taking this, they will try and rotate to here. They can try and hold these pivots, which is why I'm not taking it at the moment, just looking at like the imbalances and where we have that cluster. But this is maybe a play. I would class it as a C setup. It's not an A+. It's not even a B. It's probably a C setup at the moment because we've left low hanging fruit and we haven't completed the rotation. and we're going against the grain, but maybe they're going to do this move here for you guys. New H1 coming in 2, 1, 0. All right, this is what matters to me. This H1, this H4. Now, if this H1, H4 prints above here and fails up here, or even above Globex, and we get like a nice long wick, then I'd consider that trade back downside. If we start printing above all of this, then we're going to go 500s. I'm just 500 away from passing my funding ticks account, but now it's looking hard for me. Hey, there's no rush. There's no rush. Just wait for your setup. If that setup's not today, it will be tomorrow or the next day. Don't worry about the money, all right? Thinking about the money is the trap. Sticking to the process is how you make money trading. If you focus on your P&L, you will lose. Nice, Peter. All out for the long. Nice work. Yeah, lots of you getting it. Jack, you're short on resistance. Okay. Not quite at the level I'm at yet, but I understand what you're looking for. But like I said, I'm concerned we haven't taken the low-hanging fruit yet. We will see. VIX is starting to find a bid in front of 20. Let's see. Back to these flow zones at the moment. Let's move this up so you can see it a bit better. So this is your two ranges. All right, we've got volume here, rotation can happen here. If we let go of this, there's a bigger snap possible. Because we didn't really build out much structure on this drive up this morning. It was like a straight squeeze up. All the shorts entered at the lows and they're all getting squeezed out. Here's the move back to volume. Now it's important what happens now for sentiment now. Do bulls come and defend this area where they successfully defended earlier this morning and caught bids? Right, that's what they will be looking to do. If I was short, I'd be covering into this zone, holding runners in case we break down below. This is previous week value area low. We're finding a bid around that. So you can see this is a big level, and I would expect rotation between these two zones at the moment. Right, this is not as good now because we've sort of built out here. So this level becomes key as an over, under, flip below, and fail also available. The bulls will want to defend this. Failing to defend this will allow a bigger move low. I'm going to remove that because the way we built that volume is not too pretty. So this is the level that bulls want to defend that we're coming into. Back to VWAP. Tesla's starting to push now, 2.90% up. So Tesla and Google look strong. Everything else has gone red on the day, folks. So Tesla and Google now the only two that are up. Everything else red on the day. Well, Meta's flat. Back to your VWAP here. This is the area bulls need to defend, this grey box. They will need to defend this area if they're going to complete the rotation of previous day high, previous day value area high. Failing to defend this area will cause them to get in trouble. I mean, everyone above this area will get stuck. Let's just see. Big selling here. Here's your New York VWAP. If we start breaking down from here, it means the whole squeeze is going to let go. Very, very dangerous now. If bears now defend this range, right? If we trade downside from this, if a retest stays heavy, we can go all the way back to open. And we're starting to see selling in the mag, not in Tesla and not in Goo, but in everything else. Oh my gosh. Well, that trade up there was the one. I wasn't convinced because it wasn't A+. We'll see. Big selling on the tape at the moment. I want to just let this calm down. If we're just going to get a two-way tape where we go up for 30 minutes and down for 30 minutes, it's going to be pretty tough to trade based on A+ setups and stuff. Just going to get a bit more coffee here and let this settle down, folks. I'll be right back. up to you. You have a think about it. All right. So a bit of a shelf here into 70s. Let's see. I just think we're in range rotation. So I just want to be really cautious. And it's a Monday. Monday sets the tone for the week. I think we're waiting for NVIDIA on Wednesday. I think that's the bigger move this week. We had a massive week last week, so I'm not in a crazy hurry, let's put it that way, to force my way in and out of this market at the moment. It's starting to find a bid. It's going to come and retest this shelf. And this grey box is the key level. If bulls get back through this, they can go back for high of day. If bears defend this, then they're going to look for a lower high and a sell back down. So it's big level here. MAG is in a sell other than Tesla and Google, which are holding gains. They've squeezed right the way up. Right, Google's just shy of 5.5% up on the day. So let that sink in. 5.5% up on the day. It's a big move. This is the key area. This is your over-under now, which will dictate the tone probably for the remainder of the morning, I would say. Bears so far, first push in, have defended it. Let's see how we go in here. If they just squeeze right the way through, we probably go back for high of day. If they defend it, well, we'll have to see. VIX is not finding a bid right now, so it doesn't look great for bears at the moment into this box, but let's see. Let's give it a moment to shake out. Last push did leave excess from bulls up there. I'm in a short now, small size, stop already in that last excess. Here we go. Oh my god, this is moving fast. I'm up big. Woof. Okay, cover some in here. Got a pivot into here, which they might defend, and let's see if we can get a runner to break down. So just taking this bear flag. Once they left excess into this grey box, that was enough of a trigger. I'm short from here. Covered some here. Let's see if we can get under PDC and roll right the way down if we get lucky. Here we go. Woo! It's crazy how fast this is moving. Let's go. So I'm short from 43.75 here. Here we go. Let's see if we can trade under PDC. Remember, it's PDC, PWC as well. So big level in Monday when we trade into that Friday close, that cash gap. VIX finding a bid here, which looks good. Really nice. Has it got another flush down into it? Strong selling coming in here on the tape. Can they have some follow through? Here we go, baby. Let's go. Nice way to start the week. Let's go. All right. Let's go. Let's go. It's a shame it's not an A+ trade. If they'd just be kind to us one day on NQ and take out the low-hanging fruit the other side first, we could have entered this at the highs, which I think is what you did, Jack. I think you're short from up here, this red box, right? Somewhere up there, I believe. Okay, want to watch this strong selling cluster into 90 here. Don't want to reclaim of 90 really. Big selling into 90. Bears are trying to buy this. Bulls are trying to buy this dip at the moment. Might see more follow through and pain on them because they are trying to buy this low right now. And if we stay heavy versus 90, they're going to get themselves caught, these bulls. But 90 is your level. We've got to stay heavy versus 90. Big starting to find a bid. Sensitive area here. 90 is the level. Defend 90, we're going to go lower. Come on, baby. Let's get this runner all the way down to lower day. Let's fucking go. Give it, give it, give it. Beautiful. Beautiful. $90 is still the level. 85 to 90. Any reclaim of that, I'm out because we sold so strong. It was all sell side into 90. If we reclaim 90, I'm completely out of this because they can reprice very quickly. Okay, done. I'm out. I don't care. I don't care. I just don't want to hold if they reprice through this. You need bulls to get stuck again at 90. Maybe it was a bit apprehensive of me, but yeah, out by a couple ticks. This is a big level here. It's a battleground now. This is where bears came flying in here. If you look at Bookmap above, right, we came flying in here and we're really heavy there into, what's that level there? 106. There's a 331 lot, and at the same level, 109, there's a 225 lot. So they are the control right now. So I guess maybe I should have given it 10 more points into 100, 105. For me on footprint there, it was 90. And we're trading through it. So I'm done with that trade now. Monday morning, lock that in. Just watching the footprint. So we're starting to reprice. We're going to come and test where these massive bears were, where these 500 lots went through market side. And if they reclaim this, a little bit of a squeeze can happen, folks. All right. So bears came flying in here between 90 and 100, and they might well get squeezed out, which is why I'm done with this trade at the moment. Just from reading the tape. It's just from reading the tape. All right. I know you're going to be like, structure's still bearish. I get that. I totally understand that. But I don't want to get caught in a squeeze back up like this. So it's just from reading the tape that I've seen this. There we go. So he got one today. Finally got one. You can see they start to build a shelf out of this low now. So everything below this is thin. And we're going to come retest this now. And this can be a two-leg. And if bears got trapped down there, which we know they came flying in at 90 and 100 and below, if bulls reclaim this, then they've still got that low-hanging fruit, which is why it was not an A-plus trade, right? Because there's still low-hanging fruit higher for them to go for, which is looks like they're trying to get back up towards now. So that grey box is your under-over. Hopefully that makes sense for you all. And I'm almost done with the course. Well, not almost done. I've got the modules I've got left to do on the course for you guys are Bookmap, and footprint, and then putting it all together. So I have been working my absolute butt off. So if you look at me and think, God, he looks tired for a Monday, it's because I have not stopped working for like the last 3 weeks trying to get this all together for you. And the Black Friday sale, well, it will be on everything before this course because I won't have it done in time. But I will do a 25% Black Friday sale. I'll give you a clue. It is actually running now, but I haven't done any artwork for it yet. But on anything on flowzonetrader.com, if you use code BF for Black Friday, you will get 25% off at checkout. All right. It's already started. I just haven't set up the artwork for it yet. But for those of you who were asking, yeah, BF. It is limited numbers on it, guys. So first come, first served, and it will finish December 1st. And the other thing I will say, because some of you might be waiting for the new course. The new course, anytime I release anything new, any current students always get significant discount, whether it be an indicator, a course, whatever it is, you always get a big discount. I always look after current students. Okay, so question is here, do they defend this 90 and 100 level? Remember, that's where bears got stuck. So far, bears just resold into VWAP. I'm not convinced here anymore. I've like taken that trade off. Just going to wait now, see what sets up next. There you go. So they're defending it like we just talked about. So look at that wick. Where do we come down to? In front of 110. Remember, bears are stuck right now at sort of 90 to 100. I can show you guys where is OBS so I can pull you guys up. Let me move this down here. This is why we covered. Are you into Bookmap? There we go. Right, these guys here. Right, see these big orders here. Right, these came in a bit later. Look at the size on this. 224, 331. Can you guys see that? Do I need to squeeze this over a bit for you? Maybe you can see that now. These guys here, 224, 331. Those are market selling. We go to the lows. Who's at the low of the day? A market seller, right? That's the end of the auction. No one else wanted to sell. We squeeze back up. We reclaim. We're holding bids above and on this sort of rectangle box. All the time we hold this now, where are we going to revisit? They're going to try and squeeze upside to where stronger selling came in. Maybe this guy here, 79, so 80. So all the time we hold 100 to 190, there's potentially a trade back up towards these guys here, 60 and 80, and then all the way up if they can reclaim. So that's why I'm out of the shorts at the moment. Now we're going to just let them battle, because really, where's the edge now? If we also zoom out, forget Bookmap for a minute. If we zoom out and we think about where we are, we're right at the mid. You don't need a fib for this. You can just look at it. Right, we're right in the sort of middle. Right, the best edge today, it was a short here. It didn't give me the A+. What was the A+? Take that, leave a wick, trade down. That's the A+. Take that low-hanging fruit. It didn't do it, so I had to wait to make sure enough were trapped. We took the short down to here. We're now out because we're not seeing strong selling. We're seeing a battle developing here. I don't want to trade in a range in the midpoint between value area high, value area low from previous day. We don't want to trade in that range. Right, we want to trade up here, ideally, and down here. Those of you who caught the longs, great. Couldn't get the shorts up there, got the continuation. That's it. We're done until it gives us the next trade setup. There's nothing for me right now that's making me want to do anything. If anything, I'd probably be thinking, can bears get stuck and then trade upside? But it goes against the high time frame narrative. So lots of like, not indecision. I'm trying to think, a lack of confluence. That's the best way of saying it. There is a lack of confluence in the market at the moment. Lack of confluence. How we can get rid of these drawings? Clear drawings. Clear. There we go. And you can also see that by the mag, right? So Google and Tesla flying. Then you've got the rest of the mag down. They're not acting in unison. Not acting in unison. But VWAP is being defended, but 190, 100 is the level. So sellers, big sells just came in there again. So a big seller just came into 100 level and he got absorbed again, because bulls understand that if they can defend this level here, they can catch bears. If bears keep coming flying in here like they just tried again and they don't get this breakdown, we can get that squeeze. But at the moment, there's no edge because structure is this. Bulls are defending this. Bears are defending this. This is the rotation zone. Bulls get above that. There's a breakout. Bears get under 90 and 100. Maybe they get back down to New York Open. That's all there is to do at the moment. And just let them battle it out, in my mind. So back to these 190s, checking them. Bears coming flying in here. They're trying to force this breakdown. They really want a breakdown in this market. Back to PDC here, that yellow line. So bears can take control of this market if they sell through this and if the absorption on a tape dissipates. But this is the level, isn't it? 90 to 100 was the level. There you go. They're trying to soak off it again, these bulls. So for me, this is a no trade area at the moment while they battle out. Right, we got that trade, made the money. Lots of you made money on the move back up. Some of you might have taken a short before me, which is fine. It just didn't set up for what I wanted. Now we're waiting. It's possible. I can't rule out a move lower here, but I'm not seeing them completely take over of the tape yet. VIX is kind of in no man's land as well. Back to these 90s we go again. It's a big level here. If bulls get out of the way, we can flush. Back to 90s, back to 90s. Aggressive selling at these lows again from bears. Got to be someone soaking this tape here. If he moves, a flush can happen. Under 90s. Last chance saloon for bulls, otherwise they're going to get washed out here. So probably going back towards that pivot low. There you go. So washing under 90s. Back to test the 90s. Bears will have to step in here again, otherwise it's basically a look below and fail. They're stepping back in at 90s, so they're going to try and force this low now. There's so many orders on the book here, it's insane. Both sides of the tape. Bears have got the edge at the moment because we're under 90s and 100. Bulls will have the edge. If we go back over that, bears will get stuck. So bears have the edge at the moment. Rejecting VWAP through the 90s, back down to this pivot low. And if you snap that, you can look for previous day value area low again, which would be your cover point if you're still in this short, or you re-hit this short as we went sub 90. There you go. So I'd watch now, see how we get thick. You'd want to see a failure under 60s now for a straight flush down to here, and you want to be covering some into here, and then you can hold runners for breakdowns. but this is the edge of value on the current session where we are. So lots of people will cover here, and most will probably cover into previous day value area low. VIX still trying to find a bid. It's kind of like up, down, up, down, up, down. Maybe an inverse head and shoulders or quasi starting to build out on a 5 minute. We will see. So it's the same level, 90s and the 100. If they reclaim 90s and the 100, just like before, bulls will try and take the edge. You can see this shelf. We've built volume. We're going straight back to 90s again. This is the level. Bears need to defend this. If they don't defend this, we will go back into that rotational potential squeeze back up to a previous day point of control again. So that's why I'm just sitting out for this for now. For me, I'm happy to let them battle out. I know there's money to be made here. You're still trading in, what's that? What's the range there? From, you can say 160 to, it's a 100-point range. It's insane. Insane. But the probability of these, you have to be very quick watching the order flow to get this right. Quite happy to sit still at the moment, for me. If we start getting heavy underneath previous day value area low, right, then we can think about a breakdown into this next box. Right? It's so annoying that they didn't take this high. Did they take it in ES, by the way? It's one thing I didn't look at this morning. No, they didn't take it in either. Well, that's just horrible. I don't trust this move when they leave those in like that. Yeah, smash that like button for me, please. Are you planning on Black Friday as far as your course goes? You might have just missed it. We just talked about it. There is a Black Friday sale. I haven't done the artwork. For absolutely everything on my website right now, it's 25% off. Ends December the 1st. Code BF at checkout. All right. So sorry, Jackek. You might not have been here when I said it. I haven't done the artwork yet. I haven't announced it. I haven't put it on any socials, but it is live. It's first come, first serve. There are limited numbers on every single product on there because I can't give it out for everyone. So first come, first served. Ends December the 1st. Or I should say ends midnight into December the 1st, or 1 a.m. December the 1st. But yeah, so if you guys have been waiting to get any of the courses, whether it's foundation or beginner to advanced or flow zones for NinjaTrader or the flow zones for TradingView, it's 25% off the whole site. Prices are going to go up next year again, folks. They're going to have to go up next year. And we will make a new bundle with all the new stuff as well. I know, procrastination. For that stuff, I normally do it. For YouTube thumbnails and stuff, I have someone that does it now. I haven't done a new video for a while because I've been building this course. All right, so reclaim of the 90s to 100. You can see the battle zone starting to develop. That grey box is really your over-under. So bulls, what are bulls looking for? They're looking for one of these, right? They're looking for unfinished business up here. What are bears looking for? They're looking to defend this, and really they should have defended this for the breakdown. They failed to defend 90 to 100 for the breakdown on the second time. All right, so they failed first time, and they failed second time. They got a new low, but they haven't seen follow through down here, which is what they want. And you might get a bit of a W here, and this can be bullish rotation, and I wouldn't put it against them. Because why? Because we left low-hanging fruit. But for me, I'm not going to trade in this area here. Oh, BF, Black Friday, BF. So BF. All right, bulls starting to take control. We left excess on that last low down here from bears. Bears definitely got caught sub 66. And bulls are starting to take control. You're starting to see delta pushing. Even on this last candle, bears are stuck underneath 110s right now. Bulls are starting to take control of this market at the moment. And when I say this market, I mean this area here. It is a battleground, but bulls are starting. You're starting to see, oh, unless we trade under this wick. This is why I don't touch these areas, man. It's just like, I watch the order flow and it's mental. So bulls needed to defend 110. They just failed 110. Now we're back to 90 again, and you're going to see this rotation over and over and over and over and over. That strong selling that came back in here. Let's see if Mr. I'm going to soak everything you've got is still on the tape. The answer right now looks like yes. The bigger question, I guess, is when is Google done? When is Google done? Anyone watch the sport of the weekend? Oh my gosh, the rugby was immense. So proud of the England boys beating New Zealand. That is no small thing. It's not quite the same as beating them back in the day now. I think the Springboks are the best in the world, but great performance from the boys. Very happy for them. Okay, Bears flying in here at lows again. Let's see if Mr. I'm going to soak everything you've got is on the tape or not. This is the key level. I'd say sort of 69. Let's call it 70. It's a bit of a meme, isn't it? 69 is the key level. That's where we left bearish excess underneath. And they just defended it. So like I said, I am not touching these areas, folks. I'm just calling out what I'm seeing on the tape. But I'm not going to get myself caught in these areas. These are the areas where I'm like, leave alone. We're not at the edge anymore. We played the first continuation. Remember, like we failed. We effectively played the first bounce short. Once they reclaimed, I was like, okay, I'm done with it. They're going to go into a battle. Maybe they rotate. That's fine. They're going to rotate without me if they do it. Maybe they rotate. That's also fine. They can rotate without me if they're going to do it. I don't need every single trade. I want the ones which are high probability. This is mental. Big defending coming in. So there is definitely someone soaking the bid today. He's happy to sit on that bid all day long and soak the aggressive selling. But the rotations are very quick inside this box here. So this is sort of my leave alone box at the moment. This is, I'd say, that's my leave alone box. You could even argue value should be a leave alone box right now, right? Value on the day. It's 100 points, but definitely VWAP up to this low. That's my leave alone box at the moment. Hands are off. Leave alone. It's okay. It's Monday morning, folks. Monday morning. You either made that killer 200-point trade up, or you snagged a bit of it to the downside with me. We just wait now. Long week ahead. We absolutely crushed last week. Long week ahead. Not trying to be a dick for a tick, but I won the beginning course and I completed it. Will the discount code at the end work on the full course and add on to... I don't think... It's a good question, Garbett. I don't think it will. I think it's separate. And I think the sale... You can double check. I think the sale course is better because if you're doing the full course, 60, 120, it's probably like 150 off. And if you did the beginner course, I think it's 100 off. Somewhere around like that. So I think the Black Friday sales probably saves you an extra 20 to 50 quid. Bucks, that is, sorry, when I say quid. All right, squeeze back up here. Bulls coming flying back in. Your market data feed is messed up, saying I have a 10-minute delay, but CME bundle activated. Anyone on this before? Are you talking about TradingView or are you talking about on NinjaTrader? On Bookmap. I've had it on Bookmap many times. You would have seen about 2-3 weeks ago, it kept happening every day. Just close Bookmap down. Oh, NinjaTrader. Oh, that's a worry. I don't know, mate. That's a worry. Okay, bulls are starting to take control. Come back to this grey box now. Bulls are starting to take control of this area like we talked about. Bears just failed to get that breakdown. And if you see bullish rotation, there is low-hanging fruit left to go for up towards the higher day. So here's the move back to previous day point of control. This grey box is your trigger. Here is a potential W. If they start bidding above this, they have a move back to this higher day. There's no doubt about it. We've just traded from the edge of range. They might come to the edge of this. Like I said, I'm trying to leave this alone, but it's moving very quick on the tape. The candles might not look big, but they're of decent size, and we are moving fast on the tape. Your ATR has been consistently up about 32 points per M1 candle. That is significant, folks. Most retail traders use a 20 to 30 point stop. That will not work in this market. You will get whipped out in a second. So let's see here. Back towards these VWAPs, which are flat on the day. We just defended previous day point of control. I would say bulls potentially had the ability to send this higher at this point after bears failed to get their rotation underneath this. So if bulls defend sort of the edge of this, where's that last area they came in? I'd say bulls need to defend 25s. If bulls defend 25s, there's probably a squeeze higher here developing. If bulls can defend 25s, there's probably a squeeze higher developing. That would be my guess. If they can't defend 25s, then the range gets rotated in more. But again, I'm not trading this currently. I would consider a trade back up if they look really strong. If they could defend 25s, maybe if I see them soak 25, but you wouldn't want to get knifed through, so I'll let it defend a bit, I would say. And that previous day point of control was being defended by bears. Where did they come flying in? Maybe even as low as 10 again. Yeah, I don't like that. Back down to 10 will allow rotation. Ugly, ugly, ugly. But bulls have the chance here. They have the chance here to do something. 25s ideally holds. 10 at the worst case. Under that, they're in trouble. But you're in this sort of edge of this potential W. They might come all the way down to here, which would be not very nice, and it would give bears a sniff to go lower. So what's we're doing timing-wise as well? Only 30-minute bar. So there's the last 30-minute bar. We're under POC of those last two bars. Oh, God, it's very ugly out here, folks. This is about as bad as you get in terms of range rotation. But I would say bulls currently have the edge to go higher. Bulls have the edge to go higher all the time they can defend. There's that 25 move we just talked about. And they defended it. If they defend that, they're fine. Otherwise, we go 110 and then they're in trouble. What is the VIX doing? 30-minute bar does not look great here. It's the one thing. 30-minute bar does not look good. Edge of that value, 78. Yeah, that's a leave alone for me. Thanks very much. No good for me. So that to the 110s, and bulls losing that edge now. So they had the chance to defend 25s and 110s, didn't defend it, back into that range, and the chop is going to continue here. Alex, do you have a full course with NinjaTrader indicators? The full course is, yeah, it's called Beginner to Advanced. It's the 20-hour course, and you can add on the NinjaTrader bundle and then get 25% off. So if you go to checkout and click on, it should give you like an option for adding a bundle, and you just want to add Flowzone Pro for NinjaTrader. It will give you two options: Flowzone Pro for TradingView, Flowzone Pro for NinjaTrader. You want to add that on and then stick in the code if you want the NinjaTrader indicator. Miguel, hit my goal early today. Got to run some errands. Take care. Yeah, take care, mate. Okay, back towards lower day. So bulls lost that impetus there. We're back, well, not lower day, back into this range. This is the like no trade range for me. I'm interested in bullish moves over here. If they held this and then did it even better, now bulls are stuck and bears are starting to take over. This is stronger selling. Like I said, the 30-minute does not look good for bulls right now. POC starting to move back downside, but we're back into demand again. So I just think it's very possible this is a horrible market to trade until Thursday, because it's very possible we build liquidity out for Nvidia on Wednesday. Very, very possible. So back to the edge for current day, and if they sell this, here is possible. If they defend this, straight back in. This is your box at the moment. This is the range rotation at the moment. It can, in fact, get up here, but it's pretty ugly. Pretty ugly out there. Bulls are defending this. Bears are defending this. This is your range rotation. This is what I'm leaving alone. I'm interested in under here and over here and up here right now. No worries, Roscoe. I use everything, Jack. So I have Bookmap. I have footprints there and footprints here on both Ninja and TradingView. So I'm looking. What I'm really looking at is the market orders, the soaking in the book, the delta on the DOM, and then on footprint. I only really care about the delta when I'm looking at areas of interest. I don't care otherwise, right? I don't need to. If you look at it all the time, you will become exhausted because it's so much data for your brain to absorb. What I care about is when we get into levels of interest, if I'm thinking about a trade, how we're acting. In all of this, right, it's less interesting. You can see the key areas like the 90 to 110 or 90 to 100. Like even from this big down close candle, POC on that was at 100, right? And if you look left, it was under over non-stop into that 100. And then if you look at the lows, we've got excess selling at the lows. And if you look at the highs, well, we had a bit of excess buying up at those highs into 50 at 10.29 this morning. But we're just rotating between the two extremes. No one's winning here. We're just testing each level. Cumulative delta. I don't care about so much. I care about more about the delta on each chart. You could use cumulative delta. I have it on a 5-minute, but I don't really reference it much. You could use it if you were looking for, divergence between the delta. But I'm more interested in, support and resistance or supply and demand zones in leaving excess and trading away from that zone. Or if I'm looking for a pullback into, say we're looking for that first pullback like we did this morning, when I saw excess on those buyers up there. You're not going to see enough info on cumulative delta, I don't think, unless you're looking for a trend or reversion trade. I'm more interested in quicker moves, so to speak. So I want more detail than a CVD. But, each their own. It will provide you good information, no doubt about it. But yeah, I'm more interested in what's happening inside each candle in key areas. Well, do you mean on winning percentages, Michael, or do you mean on financial? I mean, definitely swing positions more, not necessarily on winning percentages, but bigger growth, obviously. I mean, my biggest winner this year was a 500% trade over 2 or 3 months. So, like, you will make more money in swing positions because you're willing to sit in it, right? And normally, I'm net long. When I'm in a swing position, I want to be long as much as possible until we're going into like a bearish market, and even then, I'm very careful. Like if I was going to take a swing on SQQ, I'd want to be very careful right now. But I'm happy to bid in long in big names overall because chances are over a 20-year career, right, I can sit in them and they're going to go up if they're good names. But yeah, like my biggest winner this year was Open. I traded that from like 198 to 11s. Apple, I've been long since 202, sold some into the highs, into the 280s or 290s, wherever it was. AMD, I'm still long from 158. Again, I sold some into the 270s, that was. PayPal was flat on the year, took that off. My only loser this year, which was a tiny loser, was OSCR. Everything else, swing-wise, has been a big winner. Not surprising, considering we've been in a very bullish market, right? So swing longs will pay you much more than day trade longs in terms of percentage gains. You trade SQQ options, it makes sense. I mean, you probably get better. I don't know. You probably get better if you're short or take puts on TQQs than you would on calls on SQQ, just because of how it's built. They're still defending the edge of this range. Still nothing to do here, folks. VIX is trying to do that sort of inverse head and shoulder coming back towards that New York Open, but we've got supply here at 21s. Can't get through 21s. Nice fall forward, up 180 points today. Not going to try and guess on this range. Yeah, I'm the same. I'm not up as much as you, but range just looks a bit messy. VIX is trying to get going here. Like I'd look at this and be like, downside's coming, but like there's been someone soaking the bid all day. It just depends if he pulls. If he pulls his bid, yeah, maybe we trade outside current value area. If he pulls his bid, but do we look below and fail outside of here? Right? Do we look below and fail, or do bears get that full rotation? I don't know right now, but all I do know is we've built a huge amount of volume in here. We've been here for 40 minutes now. But bears are not seeing that breakdown. Bulls are not seeing that breakout. And this is the range. And I'll tell you, there's a lot of newbie traders who got short here and lost, and got long here and lost, and tried to short here again and lost, and long there again and lost, and short here again and lost. And this is how we build liquidity for a bigger break. Either a breakout or a failed breakout will come. It's a matter of time. It's whether we're here for it or not. Jack, here's a question for you. Have you ever traded the short ETFs for like the quantum names? I'm trying to think what they are. Like the equivalent of being short, because they've got some names which are like short IREN, short IONQ, short, those kind of names, or long them, and you can take the short side on them, because they will pay mega if you can time it well. Like I was long GLL and it didn't really pay much if we look at it. Right, so I was long GLL this year. Right, why was I long this? I was long this once gold faded. Right, so this is a short gold ETF. I was long for this move, but I mean that's nothing. You know, it just shows because these all include like the theta and decay, same as S triple Q and T triple Qs. People don't understand that. It's triple leverage, but it also includes the options market. VIX starting to try and go here. Through the 21s, it's coming up to its higher day and it's New York Open. VIX is trying to go here. Got you, Jack. Yeah. Makes sense. Makes sense. Yeah, that's right, Lockie. All right, I'm just going to use a bathroom here. Be careful. You're at the edge of the range. Probably once I go, you get a move. It's always the way. I'll be right back. Okay, still in this range. Bull's probably just taken over the edge here. Let me have a look. Obviously, I haven't been here to read the order flow for you. Yes. Yes. Above 80s, above 280s, bulls have taken over the edge there. So that's what bulls need to defend now. Right time? Yeah. And if you're struggling with this, if you're looking at this getting chopped up because you're struggling to identify the edges of the range or anything like that, just go to a higher time frame. All right, just go to a higher time frame. Don't get pulled into tick for tick or anything like that. If you're struggling, look, you can just go to even an M5. Just zoom into this. All right, there's nothing to do here, folks. This is your range. You can see it on an M5. It's about as clear as you can get. There's your range. All right, edge to edge, edge to edge, until you see a breakout or a breakout or a fail breakout or a fail breakout. That's all you're going to get. Right, no need to force, is there? There's absolutely no need to force. Strong buying coming in again here. Let's have a look at the mag. Google's still going. Google is still going. Remember, they've got a low-hanging fruit. If they can get out of this range that they've created, bulls have low-hanging fruit to go for higher. It's a big if, but that's what they're looking to do. Every push to the top of the range, guess what? It's being sold. Every push to the bottom of the range, guess what? It's being bought. Once we get out of this range, this grey box, there is a completion up here. If the mag's going to find a bid. I tell you what, VIX just got absolutely clapped without me being here at the 21s. At the 21s. So what do we say? Was it 180? No, 80, sorry. 80. And the rotation is just continuing here. And bulls got trapped on that last push up to VWAP. So that grey box still holding them down. And back down we go. So we're going to test the 80s again. Look how quickly it happens, right? It's crazy, isn't it? And VIX instantly found a bid there. Range to range to range to range to range to range to range. Is anything going to change? This is someone got stuck up there on that last move. That is for sure. Did we just test the 80s? Just shy of the 80s. Back to the 15s. Where did that big seller come in? 25s. Oh! Still defending. So we protected the 80s. Like I said, bulls defend this. Maybe, but like I'm not trading in this. You can see, like, look how big this last candle was. Huge. 50-point candle. I don't know what they're doing in this market. I don't think they know what they're doing in this market right now. Probably the biggest problem that they've got right now is that Google is printing. If Google wasn't printing, they'd probably be in a sell right now, to be honest. Google's still at 5%. Bears want this lower at the moment, but here's back to the 80s. This is where bulls last defended. This is where bulls last defended. They're not going to have too many more opportunities. Like at some point, one of these edges is going to let go. That's what's going to happen. So back to the 80s, defending the 80s. At some point, someone's going to lose outside this edge, one of the edges. It's ugly out there. We expect this, though. We expect this till Wednesday, to be quite honest. I expect this till Wednesday. On an M15, would I say there's a bull flag? No. I would say it's just a range. Back down to the low side again. It's all Google. This is all Google holding the market up. It's impressive. 5% up. I do find that mad, you know, like to start buying it as a retail because Berkshire and Hathaway's announced that they probably started buying it a month ago, no, weeks ago. It's why it's been printing upside. Oh, we're going to buy it now. Okay, then. Nothing's changed here. Big shelf here developed at this POC, that's for sure. Big shelf at that POC in these 80s. And squeeze back up off it. And bears will try and defend VWAP, and if they fail, we'll go back to the grey box, and nothing's changed. We can put a grey box the other side if it makes it really easy for you. I'd say this is the edge, but let me do it. All right, and there's your range rotation between these two plots right now, here to here. And you're just leaving excess both sides. What's an M5? A 5-minute chart. So if you hear me say M and then a number, it's minute 5, minute 1. H1 would be hourly, the hourly. H4, 4-hour candle. Ugh. Why do I feel like we're not going to get another trade in this session? They're probably burning a lot of options right now, I would imagine. Where are we trading at on SPY? Yeah, like I said early this morning, 70 to 72 on SPY is massive. That was a huge, huge level. So far defending both sides of that by the looks of it. Tesla looks good. Google looks good. Nvidia 1.36. I'll give you a full readout. Tesla 3.18% up. Nvidia 1.34% down. Microsoft 0.38% down. Meta 0.25% down. Google 5.15% up. Amazon 1.90% down. Apple 1.52% down. So they're not in agreement, are they? The mag is not in agreement. You don't have everything selling together. You don't have everything buying together. In fact, let's have a look at the wider market as well. Yeah, most of the market red. All right, most of the market red. It's Google, Tesla, AVGO, BRKB. I'm guessing that's Berkshire and Hathaway. Utilities are up. Healthcare, some of it's up, some of it's down. But yeah, really, two standout stocks, Google and Tesla. The rest of the market, not really. And the battle continues. You're in no man's land here. You are in absolute no man's land. Can we get one more trade? Is he going to give us something? Definitely still someone soaking the tape this morning. So, defending the edge of this range. Definitely happening. But same the other side of it. I wonder if there's a look below and fail. That's what I'm wondering at the moment. The bears feel like they win and then get absorbed. And we have got Fed talk all day as well, haven't we? Are they done? What time are they done? Next one's on at 1. Let me have a look. There's 80s again. The chop continues here, folks. Sub 80s now. Back towards the edge of this grey box. This big node here, point of control on the day. Remember, this is fair value. This is the most traded level so far on the day. Seeing some aggressive selling, try and step in here and not moving lower. So again, probably got someone soaking on the bid for now. And I wonder if they're going to do like a look below and fail at some point. Because you've got a lot of stops down here at this point. So do they just keep defending it, or do they do a little stop hunt and then turn around? I don't know, folks. I don't know what they're going to do. At the moment, they're defending it. Right the way back up. Oh, you got to laugh. Back to the 80s. I feel like they're going to do a look below and fail. I don't think they can keep propping it here. If their intention is to go higher, it's almost like they're going to have to let more sales come into the market first. Which would be a bit like this morning, but in this current range, basically. Sweep the stops underneath this range and then turn around is possible. I can imagine that playing out. I can see that possibly happening. VIX just looks dreadful. VIX looks like it's going to go into a sell rather than squeeze out here, to me, in my eyes. Yeah, location, not ideal to do much right now, I would say. If you're a range trader, maybe you're enjoying this. Maybe some of you really like it. I'd say there's probably a sweep of these stops probably coming at some point. How are we doing for time? Well, we've got a new hourly candle coming, so maybe in here now we get a hourly sweep. Wouldn't surprise me in the slightest. Did we just pop them there? Not quite. I still think they're going to run these before moving higher, but I could easily be wrong. I think they probably want to move higher today, and they probably need to come and sweep everyone out first if they're going to do that move. Remember, we've not really moved on the day. Like NQ is 0.09% down on the day. We're basically flat. So we're not seeing sellers really take control of the market right now. We're seeing liquidity being built. And I know that we've got low-hanging fruit higher. We haven't got much low-hanging fruit lower because we swept it this morning. So my bias is sort of to go higher, but probably to go lower to go higher, if that makes sense. I think we probably want to come under this and then maybe have unfinished business here. But unless we get major sell pressure start to take over here and we back test it, you know, if we break down and back test this, maybe we come to here. But wouldn't be surprised to see something like this playing out. We just have to see. Back to the 100s. AMD is about to happen. What do you mean? Doesn't look like it's doing anything. It's just literally at the middle of nowhere of its current day range. Not sure what you're seeing. It doesn't look like much to me. Oh, nice, Al Harriston. Nice work. All right, can they pop these stops and then let's see what happens afterwards? So yes, is the answer. They're going to pop these stops. There we go. All right, this is what I thought would happen. Now, what happens next becomes important. What happens next becomes important because if they pop these stops and start turning around, then everyone who's just entered short for this breakdown is going to get caught. And if they defend this area that they've just built volume at for the last hour, then maybe we move lower. But I would say if we reclaim it, then I wouldn't want to be bearish, let's say that way, if we reclaim it. What's the previous day value area low? 25,000. Let's see. So New York Open previous day value area low here. This is the edge of the shelf that we've just broken out from. How we act now becomes important. Are we going to trade all the way down into this pocket, or are we going to reclaim this? Is this just a big old trap and we're going to squeeze back higher for unfinished business? I don't know, folks. I have no idea. I can only react to the market. I can't guess the market. It would not surprise me to see this reclaim the range and go right back up to the upside if it does. It wouldn't surprise me in the slightest. IBH and IBL, they're the purple lines on your chart. All right, this is your IBL 56, IBH 254 or something, 255. Purple lines on my chart are always the initial balance. So it hasn't reclaimed that range yet, which we broke down from. That sort of 60, I guess, is the level. VIX is starting to try and push here. So bears are trying to take control of this market right now. We're right back to sort of where we found a bid from this morning. It wouldn't surprise me. If they reclaim this range, it wouldn't surprise me to see a giant squeeze back out. Big if. It is a big, big if right now, but it would not surprise me. Here's the retest of this sort of range, and let's see what they do. Because if they reclaim this, it would not surprise me to see a giant squeeze. If they reject this, then possibly we trade lower on the session. So far, no reclaim of this grey box. So bears are in control so far. And this target would be previous day value area low, initial balance low on the day. And if we got very weak, back down into Friday's lows. I'd be very, very cautious trading in here for me. I would not be surprised to see a short squeeze in this market. It really would not surprise me. They've played at the edges all day. This is your sort of level coming up into 60-ish. Seeing some selling into that so far. So just watching to see if they defend or if they let a short squeeze happen here. Either way, very, very tricky kind of day today as we build liquidity. And like I said, I wouldn't surprise me to see us do this all the way to Wednesday. So here's the test towards sort of 60 at the moment. That's just sort of over under that grey box above you. Even the point of control 80, you could use that. You get above that, bulls probably take control of the session. You can see a bigger squeeze out if that happens. And it can get violent here quickly, both sides, right? Because you're going to have one side's going to get stuck. Right? They are going to get stuck. One side is absolutely going to get stuck. So test of 60, big buying coming in here. Can they defend it, these bears? So this grey box is what we're testing. 60 to 80 is the level. Bulls reclaim that, probably squeeze out. But definitely towards these highs and probably at that point towards higher day. Bears defend this, then they're going to be looking for IB low. Bears defending it so far. It's still holding. These are the days that I'm least interested in trading, as you well know. I like moves outside of value. They're the best moves in my mind. Google pulling back about 0.5% so far. So are they done with it? I doubt it, but we'll see. Okay, defending that range, bears, what like successfully so far, defending that range well. Here's day value area low into sort of 25,000. So if I was a bear, I'd be covering some into this box now, down to 25k. And then I'd be holding for low of day. And I'm not in any of this at all. Bit of sell pressure coming on Goog here. Not a lot, but a little bit. And here's your previous day value area low. Now, bulls will want to defend this. If they fail to defend this, we're going to go New York Open initial balance low. So here's previous day value area low. So I'd be covering some into this. If any of you took this move here, retest stayed heavy, your cover is here, and runners, if you get lucky, all the way down to here. But I'd be covering some into these pockets. But higher time frame overall for me is bearish. It's just I think we're going to need to build out liquidity for a day or two. We are starting to set up the sort of H1 potential head and shoulder, but it's very, very risky. Very, very risky. Trading inside of value, looking for something like that. Okay, so a bit of a bid on previous day value area low there. And I'd say 60s is the trigger for a squeeze. They get back above 60s as a squeeze. Until then, bears are in control. Until we get back above here, bears are in control, and they can target all the way down here if they want. Back above 60s or back above 60 to 80s. Bulls can take control of a squeeze out. Nothing more than that, but just a squeeze out, potentially. Potentially. Remember, it's Goog that's been holding this market up today, and it's starting to, you're starting to see a bit of profit taking in Goog here. And this can get violent. These are big moves, folks. Your ATR is still very, very big. Here's previous day value area low, coming back down to that New York Open. There's the 25,000 initial balance coming up. So if you're shorting this, you look good. Make sure you are locking in some profits. Please do not get yourself caught trying to short at low of day here. All right, not in a rotating market. You are asking for problems if we do that. Just watching the order flow now. Lots of bears came flying in at those lows. They came absolutely flying in at that New York Open. So if they don't get a print under that, you might get that move back towards 60, and then how we act there is what really matters for the rest of the day, because that's the range that they've created. It looks very bearish right now, though. Yeah, bears call those lows for sure. The 25,000 retest. If they flush this, maybe low of day. Well, it should go low of day if they flush this. If they can't reclaim, you would expect initial balance low to be tested. There's previous day value area lows, kind of interesting level. $25,000, interesting level here. Shorts came in under 98. So back to previous day value area low. And if they go back through this, they might want to revisit those 60s. This is the big, remember, it's the same level from this morning, folks. This is the same level, previous day value area low. If we trade under this, we can trade lower. If we go back through it, we're back into the internal range again. So here's the start of a squeeze. Shorts got caught there. And now it's going to depend how we trade when we get up to 60s. Remember, 60s is the level here. The bigger squeeze, this can still be a look below and fail. This level up here is what's important. And if we reclaim all of that, oh my God, it could get nasty. Like I said, this is how we rotate. This is exactly what you're seeing, how we rotate and catch people. Okay, so rotation, 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 breakdown. This level becomes important. If bulls defend this, if too many bears came in here, which is what's happened so far, we retest this. We can do rotation between here, or we can reclaim and go on a big old short squeeze if too many got caught there. Remember, this can be a look below and fail on a reclaim of here. Until that point, it's technically bearish, but this candle here did catch bears underneath that New York Open. If you look at the Bookmap, I know it's small on your screen, you can see, look at this selling from 25.11 down to 94 is basically low of day. They came aggressive, 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 and we've bid back off that low of day. They've not seen acceptance lower yet. It is just yet, but that's what I'm seeing so far. But yeah, we're bearish on the tape, but we're in a range rotation, so I'm not thinking about a trending environment. Not thinking about a trending environment. It's going to have to prove itself. I hate that NQ didn't get up to previous day value area high or previous day high. I hate that. That's naughty, naughty NQ. Made my money today. Yeah, nice, BU. Good work. I've had one trade, that's it. I'm just waiting to see if something else will set up for me. It'd be nice if it would. I don't have a whole lot of edge here. VIX is actually getting above the New York Open, which is impressive. Check the ES. Oh, did you see that? Spiders and ES are at a 50-day and initial balance low. So they have relative weakness. That's because Google and Tesla are heavier weighted in the Qs. Still strong selling coming in here. Man, are they really gonna go for Friday's lows, not getting back up to the highs in New York? It's possible. It's not what I think they're going to do, but trying to remain flexible to the charts. Okay, ES has taken IB low and trading back, well, inside just about. Same with the spiders. Q's not there yet, so Q's trying to play catch up. Tape moves quick here. Tape moving quick. Remember, this is the kind of area they bid off this morning. So I wouldn't want to be a new money short down here. Let's put it that way. There's no long trigger, but I would not want to be a new money short down here. All right, your short location, really, it was up here. It's a pain in the butt. And I'm surprised they just did one retest and didn't quite make it, but it shows the strength of the bears there. Yeah, Google's starting to really pull back, about 1% back from where it was. Let's see, down slightly. Just at that New York Open. Oh, big selling here. Woof, woof, woof. All right, they're looking for 70s now. They're selling hard. So if you're in this short, you look good. Make sure you've paid yourself around this level. This is where we traded down to this morning. If they get under this, there's a block here. If they get under this, 700 is possible. If they get there without giving me the entry I wanted at the highs, I'll be a little bit miffed. But let's see. No, just SPY and QQQ for me. I don't really trade any of the other ETFs like the metals, the energies, very occasionally. Like I said, I did take a long on GOL earlier this year for the pullback on gold, but that was it. Don't think they're done with this yet. Still lots of selling. Coming back down to that initial balance low. And that block there, really, under IB low, goes all the way down to 900. Yeah, down to here is possible. And then under that, nothing until we get to Friday's lows. So if they have set up this sort of head and shoulder or this cup and handle to go lower without taking the previous day high out in New York, it means London traders get all the fun. We will see. Maybe DEX, just remember, like, overall, the market has been quite bearish. Macro news is quite bearish. Momentum is bearish. We are now underneath the previous day value. That's technically bearish. Just remember all these things. All right, we're in a bearish market at the moment. We're trying to move out of previous day's value area low, and which is here, which means we've gone in rotation. It's possible. It is. You cannot rule out a puke down to here today. I'm not saying it does it, but just based on rules of engagement, you can't rule it out. Can't rule it out. There's your IB. Tape's still heavy. Tape is still heavy here, folks. VIX really starting to get going now, guys. It's into its next pivot. So next stop for the VIX really is 22. And if it gets over 22, next stop is 23s and fast. So just be aware of that. We're very volatile. You are outside of previous day's value area low right now. Just remember that. We have moved outside of value. If they want to go for the Friday lows, they can. I wanted to be in shorts today for those Friday lows off a push to the highs. But after what I saw this morning, I thought maybe we'd save it for tomorrow. But we're breaking away from volume. We're looking lower. We're going to look down to see if we can find fair value. Now, that might be here. It might be down here. We don't know. It might be that they trade back upside. We don't know. All we can do is react to what the market's doing. There's the squeeze back up. Previous day value area low is an important level now, folks. Okay. If we're under that, we are technically potentially in a trend day lower, especially if we move under IB. If we reclaim previous day value area low, this is a look below, like one of you just said that you were looking for a look below. This would be a look below. Right now, I'm not seeing enough shorts caught at those lows, but it's possible. We had like 3 micro drives in there, which you can't see in a 1 minute tape. If you look at Bookmap above me, you can see 1, 2, 3. There were some shorts down here, 85 lot, 50 lot. 97 lot. There's definitely some absorbing going on down there. I'm not sure they've finished with the auction yet, but let's see. We're going to find out soon enough. But I would be very, very aware of your New York Open and previous day value area low for your bias. Yeah, Richard, I was short this morning. Yeah, we've locked in money this morning. Everyone was long for that look below and fail this morning. I took, where was I short? This short. First bounce short. This short. I wanted to be short above here. That's what I was looking for today. And now we're potentially in range rotation / we can be in a trend if we start letting go of this. All right, if we start, I just want to make this clear. If we let go of this and we let go of this, this can offer a move here, because if we zoom out, that is possible. Cannot rule that out. Richard, I think you're in Discord, right? If you look in Discord, look at the 2 trades we talked about this morning. Both have started happening. Where's my Discord? All right. I can get this over to you guys. All right. This to move lower into 24,158 over the week, and today probable range rotation between them to create that liquidity. All right. So VIX still going. Nothing to bid off right now, folks. For those of you looking long, there's nothing to bid off right now. We are outside of previous day value. We're at initial balance low. We're at an area of interest, but we can still trade lower if it wants. MAG, remember, has been heavy other than Tesla and Google, which have started pulling back off their drives, which have been going all day. Just be aware of that. If you go in a squeeze, it will become very, very obvious. I'd be very, very cautious trying to pick bottoms if we're breaking out outside of previous day's value area low. There are targets below. Remember, we've been in a heavy market. Friday was a short squeeze up. Today we've gone in some range rotation, and we're in like an area where we've built, well, an area up here we've built lots of liquidity. It just depends what their ambitions are. I would say before Wednesday, what is their ambition in this market before Wednesday? That's what matters. Structure right now, bearish. Flow zone's bearish. Did any of you take this? I'm actually fairly surprised they let this work, but did any of you take that? I mean, it's very, very nice. Tight risk for that move. I didn't take it. I didn't think they'd give it to us. I thought maybe they'd test twice, but there we go. But like you know, I'm a little bit more hesitant as a trader when we're trading in these kind of ranges. They're not my favorite trades. I know they are not my strong point. My strong point is when we move outside of these areas. This is where you would see last week, Tuesday, and was it Thursday? Tuesday and Thursday last week, where we caught 200-300 point bangers. In 3 micros, you took the short on the Russell around there. Nice. So lots of you got it. Good work. Good work. Good work. long as you're trading your plan, it's all that matters. Remember, I'm human. I can call stuff, but when I know that something is not my my strong point, I have to at least be aware of it. Like I talk about, get around the golf course with an 8-iron. I'm not trying to get the driver out, you know, in a bunker. Let's put it that way. All right. Market's moving fast here. Like the tape is moving very, very quick. Up, down, up, down, up, down. This is a battle starting to develop here. I'd be very cognizant of that previous day value area low and New York Open. That is a massive, massive area. If they reclaim that, then are probably all the way back up to 64s. Starting to see bulls try and come in here. They are trying to come in here to get back towards previous day value area low. Bears are defending very, very well. Man, this tape's moving so quick. So maybe a 25,000 check, and if they get through that, maybe a squeeze to 25,060 is basically what I'm saying. If they defend that, maybe new low of day. So they're trying to get up to that 25,000 like we just talked about. And if they get back inside previous day's value, it's going to be a look below and fail, right? If they get back inside a previous day's value, it's possibly a look below and fail. Here's previous day's value. If they get back inside of this, I could imagine it's not the best excess here, but I could imagine if they can get back inside this, why bears will want to defend this for a breakdown. Bulls will want to reclaim this for a move back to this area. This is why these days are definitely not my favorite days to trade. When we move outside of these days, they become my favorite days to trade. So as a whole, the mag right now is flat. Even with Tesla 2.80% up and Google 4% up, the mag as a whole is flat because everything else is selling. No worries, Jack. Yeah, no worries, Jack. What did you take, Jack? You were short today. Are you long off IB? Sorry, I might have forgotten. The tape's moving quick. Here we go. So here's the test of 25,000. They're trying to test that New York Open previous day value area low. If they get through here, okay, then a move to 60 is possible. Bears might come flying in here, folks. All right, they might come flying in here, the bears, and just be like, "What do you think you're doing? We're going lower." We don't know. It's a massive level as we come into these levels. At the moment, they've not even been able to test 25,000. Bears defending 90s at the moment, so not even into the 25,000s yet. And they might not let them into there. They might keep defending it. A little bit of bullish excess on that last move up. Let's see. Google really starting to sell here, folks. And be a little bit careful. It's now only 3.83% up. Remember, about 10 minutes ago, it was 5.5% up. So you're starting to see that pullback on the Goog. Retesting towards these lows now. Now, this is where it's going to get very, very tricky. They're going to build out a range here. And you know the battlegrounds. I've given you the battlegrounds. Basically, IB low to previous day value area low. Those are the battlegrounds. Someone is going to get hurt. Here is the squeeze up towards 25,000. Can they get through 25,000? This is the question now. If they can, we're going to go 10s and then 60s for those of you long. So if they can bid over this, like we talked about, if they can bid over this, this is available. If they defend this, they will look for a wash. This is your rotation. IBL to previous day value area low. Here you go. So here's the squeeze through. Now, can they hold above it? It's not just the squeeze, it's the hold above it. Here's 25.10s. Very important now. For those of you long, lock some in because you don't know if they sell this. And if they hold the dip back into it, then you look good for a move to 25,000 and where's this? 60 to 80. Big buying came in there. So shorts getting squeezed out here. And the buyers have won this rotation. So they need to hold a pullback now. The buyers must hold a pullback now. Otherwise, it's nothing more than a short squeeze. Buyers need to hold a pullback if we're going to go up towards those 60s. Otherwise, it's just a squeeze out, right? So buyers must hold a pullback to create some structure. And ideally, that pullback would be around the value area low. You wouldn't want to see it go lower than that, really. Definitely not lower than New York Open. So you look good. You look good. Hold on to your runners if you can. Make sure you've paid yourself like we always talk about. But here you go. All right, now I'm in this long at this point. Can we get up to 60s? Can we get up to 60s? Can we get up to 60s? Is 40s? I'd love to get to 60s and 80s if possible. I've got to move my bookmap so I can see the order flow. Look how quickly it moves. I can't even see the order flow. It's so quick right now. 50s, 10 more points if possible. Moving my stop up with it because this is short, squeezy. Okay, stopped out there on the little piece of it. We want to still hold a pullback. So let's see. I want to see this hold a pullback if I'm going to get any more size into this. Looks good. Looks good. They just retrapped there. That's not deep enough for me to re-enter, but it looks good for everyone long from, lots of you long from down here. Even if you use a little trend line, look very nice and simple. All right. Shame we haven't built liquidity here. That's what would be really nice. But this is your TP. And if you get through this, high of day. And I'm not joking. If you get through this grey level, you can go 55s and then high of day. And I'm absolutely dead serious about that because we're in a rotational market. All right. If bears fail, they failed to break down with conviction under here. They got stuck. We've squeezed back over. We need to hold a pullback here. Really, you'd want to see a pullback hold this. This is your TP, then this, and then high of day. And I'm deadly serious. This can be really nasty in a rotational market. That's why you don't short lows. Here you go, folks. Here's 60s. So TP1 here. Between 60 and 80 is your TP1. You must pay yourself here. Please respect the structure. This is a big shelf. Starts at 60. It gets a bit thicker into sort of 77, 80, which is probably where it's about to revisit. All right, so as long as you paid yourself some, just hold on to your runners now because these shorts are in big trouble. All right, so the shorts at the lows are at trouble. We're going to use their pain to here. If we use shorts in here's pain, I'm looking for a re-entry here, unfortunately. If we use shorts in here's pain, we will rotate between here. If we break out of this guy, we're going to go for high of day. So if you're long from here, TP here, hold on to see if you can get up to this and this. All right, but you must TP here. You must. It's your point of control. It's the most traded area of the day. You can see the volume shelf here. You must TP some out here because this is a squeeze and they can pull all the way back down to 25,000. Why is my mouse going mental? 25,000. That's where I was looking to re-add on after I sold that last push. So they can come right back down to here. No problem at all because we lack structure. And the squeeze started. Shorts got caught at 86 to 82. And bulls came flying in from 98 to 07. And we've got a ton of imbalances on this push up. All right, so we can snap nasty down and still be bullish and then recover. So you should be like a bit lighter in size here. Really nice. Here you go, squeezing more. Please pay yourself because there's a lot of balls coming in here. You've got to pay yourself some money. If you haven't paid yourself yet, you must pay yourself some money. If we get through this, well, then I feel very sorry for those people who don't understand a rotational market. They're about to get absolutely butthurt, aren't they? But yeah, congrats, everyone. I did catch a piece of it, unfortunately not all of it. But, you know, like I said, I have weaknesses. My weaknesses are rotational markets. I can see them really clearly. I just fucking hate them. But I love it when we move outside of ranges more. But at least I can help you guys. If I'm helping you guys see it and trade it and understand it, whether you're making money or if I'm helping you just not get caught. If you were someone that would normally short the lows there, I hope you not get caught. That's also a win for me. We're lacking some structure here, guys. If you look at Bookmap, we are literally straight up since we took out those offers at 24,983. Okay, so just this is what I'm saying, you got to pay yourself. Right, we're lacking structure. If you're looking at, have I got you on Bookmap now? Yes. Can you see that? Hopefully you can. We are lacking structure since here. This guy here. See this guy here? This was the break. We're lacking structure. That's almost 100 points back down. All right, so just be smart. Doesn't mean it can't keep going. It can, but I don't want you guys giving 100 points back. You'll be very upset if you give a full 100 points back without taking some profits. Big buying up here at the top, which is not what you want to see. So just be careful. Yeah, Dex, it was you that called it, right? You were looking for a look below the IB low. And I was saying to you, just be careful. But it was, you nailed it. You nailed it. It did exactly what you wanted. It did do what you wanted. And it did leave some excess down there. If we look at these lows, it's these guys that got caught. Look at all these guys getting caught at the lows. This is what you want to see. It's beautiful. And then, like I said, it was moving quick. You can't see it in a 1 minute chart. But at these lows, they had 3 attempts to move lower in this 1 minute candle. Basically from 11:20 to 11:21:30. So where's 11:20? This candle here, they had 3 attempts to move lower within that candle. That's when order flow is useful. Like I said, I'm more interested when we're at levels of interest, how we operate. I don't want to look at it all the time. Right, you're starting to see a pullback to point of control. Now they can hold. Guess what they can do? Guess what they can do? All right, it's told you that's what it likes to do. They can do this. They can also come down to here and find a bid. But they can hold this now and box in for a while and build out more liquidity. And if they do that, what are they building? They're building one of these intraday. So just be smart. You're welcome, everyone. You're welcome. Yeah, it's moving quick. So when you catch it, when you catch a squeeze, you know, if you took who is that? Sorry, Dex. Dex took the look below and failed, so he would have got in somewhere around here. I'd assume. There's keep it simple. Trend line break, whatever you want to see. Excess down below. Reclaim previous day low. Even if you took previous day value area low, reclaim. All right, look how quickly it went. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 minutes straight up. Straight up. I was thinking this was going to come down, stop me out, and then re-pick me up because I had a limit sitting here for it, but it didn't. And so be it. It is what it is. Yeah, bulls have taken control. You've got 25 minutes left. Bulls have taken control of current day since 11:20-ish. But I'm just going to remind you when we zoom out. All right, this is why I keep telling you to take profit. Here's Friday's rotation. All right, there's your look above and fail. Here's excess from Friday, which we've held. And we are overall, this is your previous week rotation. This is a huge level here, all right? Technically, we're bearish. We become bullish if we hold this for the rotation to 25, and then it's a battleground in here to decide if they do that or if it's just a big, big dump. So we have to be cautious. We're not in multiple time frame alignment, all right? We are not in that. So it's, what am I trying to say? It was a better way of me saying this. See money, take money, hold runners. Don't enter late. If you enter late in this market, this is going to be like, what were the good days last week? Tuesday, Thursday. This is going to be like Monday, Wednesday last week. This week will be like Monday, Wednesday last week until we get outside of value. Yeah, lots of you grabbing this. Well done, folks. Yeah, W's in chat if you got it. It's always nice for me to see. If, in fact, if you got any big wins with me today, whether you took that long of the look below and fail this morning, or you took the little short continuation with me, or you took this short breakdown, or you took the long back up. I mean, the nice thing with rotations is they do offer numerous plays, don't they? Look below and fail. Oh, look how many plays you've had today. look below and fail, long. First bounce, short. Breakdown, short. Look below and fail, long. So you've had 1, 2, 3, 4 trade opportunities today. I wouldn't say any of them are A+, but they're trade opportunities giving you 100, sometimes 200 points. Awesome, yeah, lots of them got them. Nice, everyone. Nice, everyone. Okay, so we are still squeezing in this market, and VIX got clapped, all right? But you have a little bit of excess coming up here. Like, you can't be a new money long up here, all right? You cannot be a new money long in the middle of this box, all right? You are already long. You don't want to be a new money long in the middle of here. If you just added there, I don't blame you, but it's risky. But if you got in any of these on the reclaim, that's great. If they can hold this, it's good. If they can get anywhere up here, that's a TP. You don't want to be long up here or up here, right? You don't want to be adding long up there. You do not. Because they can come up here and go, nope, back down. And this is 100 points. That will hurt. And if they want to come right down here, it's going to be 200 points, right? So be smart. Your locations, when we're in rotation, are so important. So I say to newer traders, like, trending markets, when we get days which are trending, when we're breaking out of a range, they're easier to trade because if you buy the pullback, it's way more likely to be nice for you. If you buy late because you're a newer trader and you miss it, it's still more likely to be nice to you if you're trading in the direction of the trade. If you are late on a ranging market, it will hurt you. If you were late and took short here, it will hurt you. If you're late and get long here, there's a good chance it will hurt you. If you were late and got long here, you got hurt. Same in here. Short here, hurt. Long there, hurt. Short there, hurt. Long there, hurt. Right? Because they don't understand. You trade the opposite. This is not a trend. You trade the edges. You trade the edges. You trade the edges. Right? It's one of the biggest things that I try and teach you guys, and the same in the course. Identify the conditions. It's going to make your life a whole lot easier if you understand the conditions. Ooh, I'm due a payout. I just see that. Funded next. So I'm at 25. I'm at 5,596 after 5 days. Do I take a payout or... All right, here's another question for you. Anyone trading funding next with the Halloween sale on the... Well, the account's called legacy accounts. Can I trade 30 days without taking a payout? Do I need to do like a payout every 5 days, or can I just trade to 30 days and then take it all out? Squeeze happening here. Shorts are getting squeezed here. Shorts are getting squeezed here. Big level coming up here, folks. Big level coming up here. This grey box. Big level. Bookmap cannot keep up. That's how quick we're moving. Yeah, if anyone's traded those funding next legacy accounts, do I need to take a payout? Like, do I need to do 5 days, 5 days, 5 days, 5 days? Or can I just run it up to 30 days and then take it all out? Does anyone know? It's my first time trading with them. That's why I'm asking. $150s here. Oh my God, these shorts are absolutely cooked. How long we got left? 20 minutes. 20 minutes. This thing's flying. This is just another giant short squeeze. Looking for buy. You're very late. You don't want to be buying up here, like we talked about. You're in the middle of the chop range now from earlier. Look left. You can see the rotations from earlier. The buy was down here on the reclaim of this. Right, this was your look below value, came back upside. That was the buy. Maybe if you want to trade range, you can think about a buy to here or to this shelf. I would argue it could do something like this if it really wanted. So I don't know how you're going to manage your risk on that. But yeah, you definitely don't want to be buying up here. Hey, nice, Lockyer. Yeah, looking forward to working with you. Yeah, for anyone joining, I have got a Black Friday sale on. I haven't announced it yet, but for you guys in chat, I know lots of you are asking. Just code BF, 25% off everything on the website. So any of the courses, any of the indicators, and it will. It's first come, first served, and it will finish December 1st. Code BF. Nice, Dex. Yeah, I think that's a great trade, Dex. That's a great trade, and that's a great read from you. You knew what you were looking for. You said it very clear. I'm looking for a look below and fail underneath IB. There it came. I don't know if you joined in here or in here, but wherever you joined, you've got, probably 150 points out of it. You probably took some profit on the way, but it's perfect into here. Great trade. It's a really, really good trade. It makes sense. And you said it before you took it. You knew what you were looking for. It's a really good trade, mate. Well done. All that matters, it doesn't matter about the money. It doesn't matter about the size. It doesn't matter about anything else. All that matters is that you understood the trade setup that you were looking for and you executed that setup. That's all that matters. All right. Into this range rotational zone again. And remember, you're very close to lunch now, folks. I think there's a good chance we can continue rotating and rotating and rotating all day. Let me have a quick look at the breadth again in this market. Let's reset this. Still doesn't look too great out there. I'm going to be honest, folks. Like Google and Tesla, the only ones. So Google's trying to find a bid or has found a big bid again. So I'd say okay, some of healthcare like UNH, Johnson & Johnson, some stuff like that's up. Utilities are green. Google, Tesla, green. AVGO up 1%. WMT, what's that? Walmart? They got earnings this week, haven't they? As well. That'd be interesting. And then everything else, just red. Just a red board. It will be interesting this week, like how much are consumers getting hurt right now? I think they're really struggling to pay for stuff. Average price of a 4-person family grocery shop per month now, over $1,000 for the first time in the history of America. That's the average price. Way, way, way too much. Debt is bad right now. Consumer debt is also bad, not just gov debt. Like delinquencies are up. Inability to pay off credit cards are highest in 15 years. Inability to pay off your car loans, repossessions also very high, and student debt also very high. Does it start to show? Or do we see, the question is for me on things like Walmart, do we see things like Walmart and Costco with really good earnings? And do we see like the more expensive brands with bad earnings? Or do we just see a squeeze in all of it where no consumers are really buying? They're really, really locked down right now. And how does that start to play into the tape? Interesting few weeks ahead. I mean, because we're going to get data for the first time in 6 to 8 weeks. You just got a call from student loan. Yeah, I mean, no one's being able to make payment. It's really bad out there, folks. People are really struggling. People are really, really struggling to make ends meet. The narrative can be, as long as they want, the stock market's at all-time highs, and the stock market and your own financial position and economic pressure are not the same things. And like we saw in The market should have crashed in 07, didn't crash to 08. And the other thing is, I didn't really talk about it in the newsletter, but if you look like Michael Burry, okay, he's got a big short position out on Nvidia and Palantir, but he actually just closed down his fund because he said, his words were basically, this market is completely irrational. Yeah, no shit. That's what markets are. He's a very, very good trader, and even he's saying it's irrational. But if you look back in the history of time, when our two other big bears, when did they close their funds? Because they were like, this make no sense. One closed in 07 and one closed in like 1980 or 1979, right before both crashes. Right, so the warning signs are there. But, you know, markets can stay irrational longer than we can stay solvent. And the one thing I've got back in the back of my head is, do hedge funds need this market to go on a giant Santa Claus rally and short squeeze to new all-time highs so that they can get their Christmas bonuses? It's the only thing I've got in my head. Do they just go, F the macro, F the problems, let's squeeze this out, we want to get paid? Who knows? Who knows? The nice thing is we're day traders. Our job is to get 100 points plus out of it and walk away each day. Yeah, well, Roscoe, remember, that's the average price. It depends what state you're in. So some states, obviously, much lower. That's the average price. I mean, mine would be well over that here in Los Angeles for sure. ET, I have 5 kids and I'm trying to get better at cooking beans. I love beans, man. Americans find it weird. Beans on toast. English tradition. Best food. Heard some podcast with biggest mortgage director in some big US bank, like 70% of house purchases, 25 to 35, are paid by parents cash, only 30% through the mortgage. Yeah, I mean, it's hard. It's got to be hard to get on the market right now. You know, I bought my place when I was 25 or 26. 26? I think I was 26 or 27. I got screwed, to be honest. I was self-employed working as a DJ and a music producer. So I got a horrible interest rate for the first year because I couldn't get an interest rate elsewhere. I put a good chunk down, put like 30% down, saved up. Me and my wife lived in a tiny little flat in Stratford, ate literally noodles for a year and saved up. Because I knew we've got to get in the market now because it's only going to get harder. And we've been fortunate enough to be able to, pay it off, which we did when the interest rates got put up to 9%. Our mortgage repayment jumped from like $600-700 to like something outrageous, like $1,400 a month, while we were living in America paying bills here. And when I say 1,400, I mean sterling. So it was more like $2,200. So we paid it off as quickly as we can. But it's got to be tough. It's very tough out there. Okay, so here's your previous week value area low. You still look good. I don't like how they built this structure, but if you're long from the lows, it's good. At some point, we're likely to do this move here because we've built this structure out in a horrible fashion. But if they come all the way up here, then you guys have the best trade of the day, other than that open one. If you took that and this and it goes all the way up, it's the best trade of the day. I'd say this is even better. That's a fantastic trade, but just be careful. I would not be long here. The way they've built this is very dangerous. No one's been swept out. They can come right back down to this after taking these highs. They can come right back down before they go higher. They can come back down here, get trapped, and go lower. I don't want to trade in this range. For me personally, I maintain that here and I maintain it here. This is a dangerous spot to be caught in. But if you are long off those lows, you look really good. You can just keep holding your runner. It looks really good. Oh, not smashed pea, mashed peas, we call it, Richard. Yeah, fish and chips and mashed peas. Or if you're from, I don't know if any of you from, well, I'd say the Midlands up into like Liverpool and stuff. They love, what do you love? You love curry sauce on your chips, don't you, if you're from up there? Curry sauce, it's a big thing. I know you're busy at the moment, Alex. How do I join the Discord group when you get a moment? Okay, go to the, you've just purchased the course, right? Go to the end of the course and there'll be a module. I don't know if it's titled Discord or community, and it has my email in it. Just send me an email from the email that you purchased the course at, and I'll get you in the Discord, my friend. So still squeezing up. You've got 7 minutes till lunch. Man, like I said, if they reclaim this, I wouldn't be surprised to see Hive Day. I'm a bit pissed off it's not picked me up for more size. So I didn't have too much size on for my entry. And I sold, maybe was it this little bit here, and then wanted to get repicked up. Never came. So that's my fault. It's badly managed, but I'm not surprised because I hate trading range. So it doesn't surprise me at all. Mushy peas, yeah. And the squeeze continues here, folks. Please do not enter long up here, please. Even if this goes up and you get paid, it is such a bad entry. It would just be luck if you get paid in this, and it would be rewarding you for bad trading. And these are the kind of areas you don't want to trade in. Okay, we've just walked this whole thing up. We squeezed and then we've walked without washing anyone out. You do not want to be a new long at these highs. Anyone that's emailed me, I'll get back to you as soon as the stream's finished. I can see quite a few of you emailed me. As soon as the stream's done, I'll get back to you. All right, Vic's still coming downside. You still look good to hold on. Like I said, I wouldn't be a new money long here, but if you are already long, you look good to try and hold. Yeah, it can keep going. The only thing I'd say is, like, when you see these, right, no one's been stopped out. Right, so anyone who's chased has so far been rewarded. Remember, the long entry was down here. They've been rewarded in this pocket. It doesn't have to do it, but it would not surprise me to see this snap everyone out, or at least half of them out into some of this. Right, if it doesn't protect this, straight down into here before bidding back up, which is why you don't want to enter the long up here. Think about how fast this moved. The moment, look at what happens the moment people realize, oh, we're not trending lower. I said it can trend lower versus this. This is the key, how we operate in here. The moment bears lose this battle, look at the size of these candles. All right, no look back. That's the squeeze. There's the rebid. And that's a grind up. This can come right back down to here if it wants to, right? And you're starting to see this now. It's going to start washing out probably the late longs. We are building volume here, but it would not surprise me to see this come down to here before it finds a bid, because this has been very, very aggressive. All you have to do, remember, all you're doing in trading, really, to make it really simple, is trying to identify a good location to enter into trading, and waiting for it to come into that location, and then watching how we operate in that location. Does it give you a hint that you're right? Does it give you that idea of, like, yeah, we're going to go higher, get involved. Yeah, we've caught buyers offside, we're going to go lower, get involved. And trying to leave it alone when you're not in a location of interest. And currently, you could argue, right, you can absolutely argue that they are holding the top of this shelf. But you've got to ask yourself, if the best buying location, well, technically was here, but I would say here is when we confirm. And then maybe here, if you're really fucking brave, because you're not, I don't know where you have your stop there, but maybe you bid POC. That here is not the best buying location. In fact, it's the second worst buying location of the day after here, where all the buyers got stuck earlier. So even if you buy this and it goes higher, right, you're not being rewarded for necessarily buying in a good location. And okay, you can argue, like I said, that there's a bit of a shelf here, but I would argue this is a sub-prime buying location. I would much rather be long down here for that rotation. I'd much rather be short like here for that rotation. And I'd much rather leave this alone for me personally. Maybe you guys like playing these, and by all means, like, I'm not trying to put you off, but I'm trying to make you understand, like, especially in a rotational market, how important the location is. Oh my God. I had to record something that I saw someone post. This is what he said. I'm going to play this in the mic and see if you can hear it. I've never heard, watch my language, I've never heard someone so wrong and lie so much. Hopefully you can hear this.
There's no algorithm. Level 2, baby. No footprint. No volume profile. Point of control. The control is me. I'm controlling price. I'm controlling it. I'm controlling where this is going to go next. That pisses you off because I sound arrogant. Everybody else that isn't using what I'm teaching is clueless. No! That's so silly. Holy smokes. Volume profile my ass. You might as well just call me Mr. Perfect, because that's who I'm going to be from now on. ICT's retired. It's Mr. Perfect, baby.
Retired. ICT's fucking retarded, mate. It's the only thing he is. Mr. Perfect. What a goon. Absolute goon. Oh, I've never had so much nonsense in all my life. Some interesting characters out there, aren't there? All right, so trading back into sort of that Globex low kind of level, that Asia low. It's wild. It's wild. And we're about to finish this session here, folks. You've got 30 seconds left until you hit lunch. I can stay with you a couple minutes. Lay back. Yeah, just go into the courses. Go to the bottom of the courses. There'll be a module there which tells you how to get into the Discord. It's an email that you need to email with a certain title in, and you have to use the email that you registered with. That's all it is, and then you'll be in. Roscoe said, I was watching interviews with winners of the World Futures Trading Competition. They use systems like you, Alex. It doesn't surprise me, because when you think about what we're doing with how we're executing trades, what we're looking at, it's really simple. We're trying to identify the type of market we're in. We're trying to look for clues in the market at the key levels where we identify. Let's change that. We're identifying the market condition we're in. We're identifying the key levels of interest that we want to trade around based on what we've done previously. Or if we're at new all-time highs, based on projections, based on standard deviations, based on fibs of where we might get to. And then we're going to use what? We're going to use volume based on supply and demand, and we're going to try and be accurate in those levels of volume to see, okay, who traded here? Who's stuck here? Why are they stuck here? Where are they looking for price to go to? And then we're going to either trade with them, or if someone's stuck, we're going to use their pain to trade the opposite way to them. That's all we're doing. That's all trading is. Right? We're using people's pain to get to the next destination. And all we're doing ever is moving from a place of fair value to a place of imbalance to look for value. It's the same lesson as I talk about when we've done the lessons on the Rolex, right? We can use today. You know what I love doing. Okay, so Rolex Daytona. We're going to change the narrative for today, but I'm going to give you an example. All right, Rolex Daytona goes on sale today at $25,000. All right, so Rolex goes on sale at 9:30 this morning at $25,000. Someone, but not many people, are willing to sell down at $25,950. Well, guess what? When we got down here, there were a ton of buyers hanging out here to buy it. Why? Because last time the Rolex was down here was here, and what happened? Everyone bought it, and it suddenly was worth, I don't know, let's just call this 30k for the sake of it. Suddenly it was worth 30k more, so they made $5,000 very quickly. So we were on a flash sale, so they're like, "Oh, I'm buying that Rolex. That's cheap. I'm buying that." Boom. Okay, we got up to 30k, and then everyone, when we got to 30k, was like, "Well, it's never been worth more than this recently." All right. The last buyer bought up here. So we're going to take our profits into 30k. Okay. So this was where the last buyer existed. The last buyer bought at 30k up here. Then we went down into the middle and we found fair value in here because buyers, right, buyers and sellers both agreed that this was a fair price for a while. All right. For this period of time here, about an hour. And that's noted by the point of control, all right, and by the range rotation. Now, something changed in the market right here. Right here, something changed. It could be as simple as a new watch became available to sell, or maybe an article came out saying, "Hey, the Rolex Daytona is not very good, and these are the reasons why." All right. Whatever happened at this point here, people were like, "Oh my God, I don't want to own this anymore. Sell this now." Well, so they sold it, and we get more supply on the market and a lack of demand. So we move from balance to imbalance, and we find value again at the same level because there's still buyers hanging around down here who are willing to buy it. And then guess what? We went back to balance, and this time buyers were like, "Well, I missed buying here. I'm going to buy here this time." And we come back up to here, and these buyers from here, if the Rolex are now selling at, I don't know, let's call it 28,000. And you've got some buyers who might want to buy 28,000, but anyone who is sensible bought 25,000 down the bottom. All right. And that is all the market is doing. Take your algo, stick it up fucking arse, mate. You're full of it. It's nothing to do with that. All right. It's nothing to do with an old man sitting in the middle of nowhere wearing a stupid cap talking absolute nonsense. All right. It's to do with real market participants, real people trading billions of dollars on behalf of the Fed, on behalf of private equity, on behalf of the banks. That's what it's to do with. You blew up a turbo. Oh, sorry to hear that, Tonio. Hopefully it doesn't cost you too much. Is that my most wanted? It's up there. It's up there. It's up there, yeah. That or an AP. I would never buy a Patek. I'd be too... I don't have the money to buy it anyway, but I'd be too scared to wear it. But really, I don't need to buy anything else. I have to stop myself. I have too many nice watches as it is. They are a weakness for me. Maybe I'll buy one when I'm 60 or something. I just can't be spending that and walking around like it's okay. Tag Monaco's not a watch I love, but a watch many people love. Very unique shape, very collectible, but not never been into Tag, to be honest. Not one of my favorites. Amiga is my soft point because I got into watches through my granddad and through Bond. So I used to go to watch Bond with my granddad, and when he passed away, he left me his Amiga, and then since then I've bought quite a few. So starting to see some selling where? At the top side of this range. Starting to feel what? This little imbalance, previous day point of control. Like I said, you might see a failure. This has been straight up. This area here, this edge here becomes important. Fail this edge, fail this edge, and this edge, and this edge, and so forth. For me, be very, very cautious, like we talked about, in this area here, okay? We didn't sweep anyone out. You're going to start to see that happen now. Right, probably start to see some damage done to some of these participants, and you're into lunch, right? So imagine if you were a fund this morning and you shorted this and you got long this, you're taking some money off the table and you're going to go and have a beer. and get a lap dance, knowing what they're like. I don't blame you, Roscoe. Although I like wearing a watch. I don't like wearing. Careful what I say here. I'm not a fan of watches which tell you too much. I don't want to get my email on my watch. I don't want to be bombarded by text or phone calls on my watch. I used to have that. That was just overkill. I like a nice analog watch, nice and simple. Look down. What does it tell me? The time. Maybe sometimes it tells me the date. I don't want to know anything else. I'm not interested in getting a news alert on my watch when I'm trying to have a break from the screens. No giveaways today, Awani. No, sorry. We will do some this week. I need to get some new codes, and we've got the course on sale anyway. So, is that your favorite watch, Tonio? The Tag Monaco, that square one, isn't it? The Monaco Golf is the one that everyone likes, right? The blue and orange one. They are nice. It's just not my favorite. But the reason I use the Daytona, other than I like it, is it's a watch that most people know, right? Patek, yeah. Oof. Punchy. No worries, Nihao. Catch you later. I like the John Mayer Daytona, the golden green. I really like the speedy golden green as well. It's just silly money. But the watch market has cooled off a bit this year. Same as the car market. Cooled off. Honestly, folks, if you can be in cash for the next 6 to 18 months, I think you're going to get some good sales on lots of things, whether it be watches, cars, properties, businesses. You're going to get some good sales. I was looking last night, even why is my brain not working? Why can't I think what it's called? What's it called when my brain has stopped working? When you forfeit, when you close down your business, or sometimes you have to close down your personal assets. What's that called? Why can't my brain work? Ends with D. I search for it in my head. Someone help me. Anyway, bankruptcy. There we go. Thank you. Lots of bankruptcies this year. We've still got 2 months left. Lots of bankruptcies, and I think next year will be worse. So what does that mean? Well, turnkey companies. When you go bankrupt, what happens is your assets are taken by said bank, said company, and they're sold off, all right, to in turnkeys. So let's say I have a music studio and I go bankrupt. Okay, then I declare bankruptcy. The bank will then take that music studio off me, and they will sell the assets available in that music studio to claw back some of the money. So like my synthesizers, my computers, my desk, etc. You're going to have that with lots of companies going on, which means, as horrible as it sounds, and I know it's awful, but this is how you get a transfer of wealth. If you are cash positive and you're able to take advantage of things like said Rolex when they're on sale and hold for a few years, so in this case it would be a company, all right, then you can make money out of it. Same with houses, and like Priska said, same with art. If anyone's interested in art, go to Priska. Priska is an amazing art dealer. Is that right, Roscoe? I saw like I saw the two banks or funds which closed down last week. There was a private secret meeting between the big banks and funds and the Fed over the weekend or Friday because they are worried about the bad debt. the cockroaches, as Jamie Dimon would call them. And they're also worried about what's... Catch it. What time are you at? Okay. So we have bad debt. We have to keep an eye on the bonds and on Japan as well. If Asia starts dumping US equities because they started breaking out their treasuries this morning or last night. So macro-wise doesn't look good. But like I said, we can be irrational. The markets can be irrational. And I'll tell you the other thing. Some of you might be newer and never traded in a bear market before. The bullish moves, all right, the pullback moves in bear markets are violent, are very, very, very violent. Okay, so even in bear markets, the bullish days or the bullish hours can be nuts because shorts get squeezed way more than longs liquidate. All right, I know longs liquidate fast, yes, but in a big bear market, we go to like a monthly here. Oh, I'm gonna have to go to NQ1. Can you give me QQQ? Okay. In bear markets, we haven't had one for a long time, really. In bear markets, here, these pushes, these month pushes, can be very violent. All right, this is 08. These snapback days and the days within here, if we go into 1 week, it's been a long time. Okay, here's 08. Right, these days still offer huge day trading opportunities. Okay, and bear markets take time to develop. I'm just going to point this out to you. What does this look like? Possible. This takes time to develop, right? And it's not too late to liquidate. It gives you an opportunity to liquidate. There's panic. Gives you an opportunity to liquidate. Gives you an opportunity to liquidate. That is the night scenario, right? Before we start going the other way, it takes a long time. So the trading opportunity, even in bear markets, is amazing for day trading. April 25. I'm not saying it has to happen. Very similar. The structure being built out is not dissimilar at all. But hey, we will see. I'm not one of those guys that wants to call a fucking huge short and all this nonsense. We just trade what's in front of us, right? That's all we have to do. There's a reason Berkshire and Hathaway is mainly cash, and there's a reason Jamie Dimon is worried about the bonds and the treasuries, and there's a reason gold's been going up. You're in short. How's it looking? I don't know where you're in short from, Jack. You're back into the range that we were in this morning, just about. You're in the edge of it. You're at previous day point of control. So rejected Asia low into 25,200. You're dancing back into the range. If they build liquidity here, if they are able to hold this edge in here, sort of the 50s, they can shoot for a high. If they fail this, you're probably going to rotate back into here. So you're in lunch now as well. So who knows what they're going to do with it. recent top. So you're in from 200. You're about 50 points up. If you complete this rotation, remember you've got both VWAPs underneath you, but if you can complete the rotation under 130, I'd be looking for 100s, yeah, and then 80s, and back into the same area as yesterday. But I think bulls have a chance to step in that area. But VIX has started to try and find a bit of a bid, but yeah, I think we're just into the chopping slot. Short from 180. It's just the only thing now is just sort of fighting momentum, but you are liable to sweep some of these guys like we talked about, right? None of these bulls got hurt. They're likely to get hurt. This is the edge of range. We've had no acceptance above here twice today, so we're probably going to trade back down to this side of this grey box. So as long as you're managing your position, you look good. You never know, all right? You never know. Maybe you get that move, hopefully. Yeah, that's one of your favorite setups, Adam. It's okay. You'll get more. You'll get more. All right, folks. I'm going to get out of here. That was a decent trading session. Nicely green on the day again. No one answered me, though. Is anyone here trading a legacy account on Funded Next before I go? Does anyone here have a legacy account on them? Doesn't look like it. None of you are answering, so probably not. You trade the Rapids. Garbs, do you... Well, maybe you trade with them. Maybe you'll know. Oh, you just started as well. Okay. I've got one past, and I'm at day 5, and I'm up 5.5 grand, but it's on a legacy account. Can I ignore the 5-day payouts and just trade to 30 days straight and then pull it all out? Or do I have to pull out when it's available? Do I have to do like a payout sequence? Does that make sense? Or can I just trade straight to 30 days? You might get that sell, Tonio. You might get your turbo paid for here. This is my first TP would be here in this low volume area here. And if you sell through this, you're going to get that move back down, hopefully towards the 100s, if not 80s. If I can ignore it, I'd be tempted to just take a very small payout and then just trade, try and build this up. Yeah, they're trying to defend this low vol node. That's why I say my first TP would be here, where we just pull back into. There's strong selling down there and it got absorbed. So there's a buyer on the tape even in lunch. Just be aware of that. Strong selling into this. There's a low volume node here and there is a passive buyer sat here absorbing for now. On that last move down, he just absorbed it. Just be aware of that. No worries, El. Yeah, no worries. I'm here every day, so whatever you need, I'm here. Thanks, Daniela. I'm just going to wait for, I think Garbs is just having a look for me. See if Garbs can figure it out. I couldn't figure it out. The reason we don't have a code and I haven't promoted them yet is I have not taken a payout with them yet. Okay, so I want to make sure everything is good with them first before we start talking about them too much in stream. But this would be my first account. And I think, yeah, I will be basically, I could take 2,500, 6, 7, 8, 2,800 out after my first 5 days, which is good, but I could also swing big. Now I've built a buffer if they allow it. Protected VWAP, yeah. The VWAP on that low volume node, it's just here, right? These sort of 30s down to 16s. If you get failures underneath this last buyer, you can get follow through. So this is where you last got stuck. Where we are right here is where all the sellers got stuck into 30s. You're trading through it. If you can trade through 30s and make a new low, you're good. They're trying to force it. There's big sellers coming in here. They are trying to force it. This is twice at the same level now. Big sellers have stepped in. So I would take a TP here if you haven't already, and then try and hold to see if you can get a flush, which looks like they're trying to force this down here. But the POC, the last 2 candles is around 30, and it's been all sell side down here aggressively. 30 benchmark days, benefit legacy account, futures legacy challenge account type. After you complete 30 benchmark days, you become eligible for 100% withdrawal of your profits. That's what I thought. As performance reward, whereas before that, you can generally only withdraw. Yeah. So I think I can just wait, can't I? I think if I wanted to, I could just trade the 30 days with no consistency rule now. I've got $5,600 to risk, and once I get to 30 benchmark days, which I think is $200 a day, I can take it out. It's tempting. Be a nice little Christmas present. Probably more likely January. No, I don't think I get 30 days. Well, 25 more days green for Christmas. Bound to have some slip ups. I'm at 53,500 and I haven't taken a payout. As in, you're at 53,000 in profit, or you're at 3,500 in profit on a 50? So you can see this new range developing. See this node here over lunch. Buyers are trying to defend this. Sellers are trying to defend the top side. That's your range in here. Sellers want this rotation. Buyers want this. You're not getting selling, or you've got sellers stuck under 35. These two candles, there's big market selling under there, and they're currently stuck. Look at the message above, Dex. Do take profit allow you to build up the 10K payment max on a pro? Yeah. You can do whatever you want on TPT. So let's say you have a 50K account. If you hit a 50 grand winner day one, you're going to take all of that out above the buffer at a 80-20 split. If you're once you hit 20K payout, I think they'll move that account to live. How do I see if they're stuck? By using the order flow, by using Bookmap, and by using Footprint. So in here, it will all be in the new course. Basically, in here, in these wicks, there were market sell orders, and we did not move lower. Those are aggressive orders on the book, which means there is a passive seller, which means what? There is someone, i.e. a big participant, limit buying here, looking for that rotation. If he leaves the tape, then the market sell orders will win and they'll be let out. But currently, this is the level where they're stuck up. This is the third time coming down to this same level around 35. From 35 to 23 is where they're stuck. If we get continuation, if this passive buyer leaves the tape, then you'll get continuation lower. But if he soaks here again, this would be the third time visiting here with aggressive buyers coming on the tape and not seeing follow through. Or is it a 10K a day limit? I thought it was 20K a day limit, JD. My bad. The new course coming in January goes through all of that, AB. But if you're already a member, then you will get a heavily discounted rate on the new course. Yeah, still soaking that same level. Okay, team. I'm gonna get out of here. I need a little break and a bit of food and walk my dog and all that good stuff. Those in Discord, I will hop in later. All I want to say before I go, and I remind you, the conditions are range rotating conditions. You've got to be careful. In range rotating conditions, if you join something late looking for a trend, you are likely to get hurt. All right, just remember that. Location in range rotating conditions is probably more important than any other condition. All right, location is always important, but because in range rotation you don't have as much momentum, location matters. All right, so make sure you understand that. Also make sure that you understand that when we are finding someone stuck, like we had, where's my mouse, down here, these moves here are very, very, very big. These are 30 to 40 point candles, right? It'd be the same. If we get buyers stuck and they do 30 to 40 point candles down, you're going to get hurt. A 30 point stop in this market is probably not going to be enough unless you're able to be very, very accurate using order flow. So size down, right? Size down. And I'll see you all tomorrow. We'll go again, same thing tomorrow. And where we close today will matter. Looking at that daily chart, it is going to matter. Where we close today matters. Are we going to close outside of that previous week range, or are we just going to close back inside of it and rotate until Wednesday is out the way, which is what I think is a good chance of happening, because Nvidia's coming Wednesday afternoon. How we act into that will be key. Can they trap enough people and use an outlier print is what I'm wondering. Anyway, peace and love. Be kind to each other. Use hard stops. Hopefully have a great day with me. Trade safe this afternoon. See you tomorrow.